For most people, fall means football, but there are more sports to watch and enjoy than just the clash on the gridiron. Tonight, we step into the gym and let the girls have their turn. That's right, it's time for volleyball action on AM 800 KBRV The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com. Whether you're a fan of Grace and the Lady Grizz, the Purple Cowgirls of North Gym, or the high-flying Cardinals of Soda Springs, this is your home for all of the local action between the net cords. Every dig, every set, and every kill can be heard and seen right here. High school sports are brought to you on 800 KBRV by
Sanders Furniture, Reed's Plumbing and Heating, Silver Star Communications, Monsanto, and Old West Media.
Now, let's head to the court with the voice of Caribou County Sports, Caleb Burgraff.
And welcome out to the home of the Aberdeen Tigers. Caleb Burgraff here on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com. As right now the Lady Cardinals getting set to take on the Lady Tigers in what should be a very big matchup for both of these two squads. We're going to have a lot coming up with you on this pregame show, including interviews with both of the teams, including an interview with the head coach of the Lady Tigers, Melanie Beck, as well as the libero for the Lady Cardinals, Sage McKinley, as she joined us earlier this week to talk about what this team is going through. We're going to be having a lot more coming your way on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com, so don't go anywhere. We're about 17 and a half minutes from the opening serve between these two squads on your home for Soda Springs Cardinal Sports.
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
The rocket launched into the air
and then crashed into the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials for the week of October 1st through the 7th. Catch K-Slot Fever. Grab select varieties of canned vegetables, 24 in a case for $12. Canned tuna fish, 48 cans for $28.32, or a case of 12 cans of premium chunk white chicken for just $11.89. Pasta sauces come in cases of 12 for $12, 20 for $20, or 24 for $24. That's a look at your Lalaton's food specials in Soda Springs.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearms storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out to the home of the Aberdeen Tigers. Caleb Burgraff here on KBRV 800 The Bears. The two teams out on the court getting warmed up right now. The Cardinals coming into this matchup after a little bit of time off, and they are getting set to try and build their winning streak back up again. They came away with a 4-set victory over their rivals and the Bear Lake Bears. It was a difficult contest for them, and there was a little bit of controversy in that match, but the Cardinals were the team that was able to bounce back in that matchup and took it in 4 sets. As I said, 3-1, and they had some very strong performances in that. On the other side, for the Aberdeen Tigers, well, they're really coming off of a little bit of a struggle. They do have one win on their year in a 5-set match against Bear Lake and the Lady Bears, but if you take away that, they've also been swept by Westside and swept by Malad, the same record that the Cardinals are bringing into this. So this game right now, whoever wins this will hold the 3 seed, and whoever loses this will move down and will hold on to the 4 seed in the district and in the region as they move forward, trying to make their way into that district tournament and work towards a good seed in that district tournament, as that is going to be a huge piece in where these two teams end up we were able to sit down before this matchup with Melanie Beck, the head coach of the Aberdeen Tigers, and talk with her about what her team's strengths are, what her team's weaknesses are, and what she is looking for from her squad this year. Right now on KBRV 800 The Bear, with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com. Kayla Burgraff on the pregame show with Melanie Beck, the head coach of the Aberdeen Tigers. And Coach, your season so far this year, about halfway through, you're at least halfway through districts now. This is the final team that you have to play. What are your thoughts on the way your team's been performing so far?
Our team has really stepped up. We don't have any seniors this year, so we have juniors and a sophomore, and then we bring up a few freshmen, and I think we're performing beautifully. They all want to win. They're competitive. They're a good team.
Right now, it looks like the battle in District 5, you and I were just talking about this, is coming down to that number 2 team to make it to state. Malad is really running away with the district, and I think everyone expected that. When you look at that battle for only one spot, what does your team need to do? What is the biggest thing they need to improve on after the first half in order to compete against the other 3 teams?
We need to work on, and it's something we have been pursuing in the gym, but our hitting and putting it away and using every opportunity to put the ball down on the floor. And I think sometimes our pass is that we played a little safe when they get nervous, and when it really counts and we got to stop playing safe, we got to start playing for real, for keeps, and we can do it.
When you look at Soda coming into this game, you guys and Soda are tied for that number 3, number 2 spot in behind Westside. Of course, again, with Malad up ahead of all that. When you look at that, how important is this game in order to try and get that 3 seed in the district going into the district tournament?
Well, as we talked about before, the seeding is going to be whatever, but this puts a mental thing in our head. And I believe a win tonight is really it's necessary for a game with Bear Lake tomorrow night. And as I said, our heads are in it. We've really worked on some things. Most importantly, we've worked on getting the girls' heads in the game, and I think we're there. And so tonight's game is important. Shawnee is a friend of mine. We went to high school together. I just love her, and she's done fantastic, incredible things with her girls, and we just got to stay on top. We can't look past them at all. Kayla
Burgraff with Melanie Beck here on the pregame show. And Coach, when you talk about that different team, again, your friendship with Shawnee, did you expect that type of a turnaround from Soda Springs coming into this year?
I did not. I'm impressed with what I've seen, and I'm impressed when we see the wins. And we just can't look past them. Can't look past them at all.
Looking at that team, they also have a win against Bear Lake. They won in 4 sets in that match. With this being the final game that both of you have going through that first round, do you feel like your team is poised to make a run at that district in the district to get into the state tournament?
I do. That's our goal. That's our ultimate goal. We want to get to state this year, and then we want to get to state next year as seniors for our girls. And they've made a goal. They're sticking to it, and they're playing hard to get there. So I think we have a good chance.
Couple more questions. When you look at your team, a couple of injuries to 2 of your juniors. When you're looking at that, you only have 4 juniors that are going to be coming out onto the court. You're also going to be starting a freshman and a sophomore out there, as well as probably your libero will be a freshman. Who are some of the players that you've been impressed with on your team, though, that are going to be playing tonight?
You know, we've really tried this hard this week to our weakest players, our strongest players. So we've really tried to the team aspect, and the natural leaders, of course, jump up, and our outside hitters have been our natural leaders, and they have been everybody's biggest cheerleader. And so I'd like to say our team's nice and well-rounded, and we're all cheering for each other. And a good kill by Isabel is the same thing as McKenna, and we've really tried to make it somebody's success is everybody's success, and that's what we're going to try to go for tonight.
Final question for you, and that's when you look at being able to open up at home against a team for the first time you play them. Would you rather play at home or on the road in that first game against a team? And how big is the edge that you get?
Here's the problem with ours. When we're home, we're in the middle of spud harvest, and I'd say 80% of our kids actually work. So our crowd's not going to really be here tonight, which is a bummer to have home games during harvest. We're the only school in our district that even has harvest, and it's kind of an unfair advantage to us because of practice. We practice from 9 o'clock at night till 10:30 every night, and I wish we had the crowd. So tonight, this week, I wish we were at Soda so we could have our hometown crowd next week.
Coach Beck, thank you so much for the time. Good luck to you guys tonight, and hopefully it ends up being a good match.
I hope so too. Thank you.
That was head coach Melanie Beck of the Aberdeen Lady Tigers as her squad, again, looking to try and move to 2-2 in District 5 play. The Soda Springs Cardinals are looking to do the exact same thing, and we're going to sit down with one of their players, Sage McKinley, the libero for the Soda Springs Cardinals, joined us on the program earlier this week, and we are going to sit down and talk with her about what her expectations are for the team this week against Aberdeen and Malad, as well as how the season's been going for her. We'll also take a look at what exactly the Lady Cardinals need to do in order to come away with a victory tonight against the Tigers and move to 2-2 in district play. Back here in a moment on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Reach Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience, an ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
This year, firefighters will battle thousands of wildfires around the country in hopes of containing them. But a single ember that escapes can travel more than 1 mile, where it can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where the ember will land, only what happens when it does. Prepare, protect, prevail. Get fire adapted. Learn simple steps you could take now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
Welcome back out to the home of the Aberdeen Tigers. Caleb Burgraff on KBRV 800 The Bear, as well as online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com. And if you haven't checked out our live streaming yet, be sure to do so, because it is your way to keep track of how the team is doing, even when you can't go to the gym to watch them. If you have a chance to sit down in front of a computer screen or your smartphone or any mobile device, you will be able to sit down and watch these games live and in person. Just go to mylocalradio.com/Soda Springs. The link shows up on the page about 2 hours before the opening of the broadcast, and you can watch every matchup like you are here. So if you haven't done it, if you haven't told your friends about it, be sure to do it. Pass it on to them. It's a new experience that we're bringing to Soda Springs this year, and for the future to come in Soda Springs, brought to you by KBRV 800 The Bear. And the Bears bringing you this matchup between the Tigers and the Cardinals. And speaking of this matchup, the Cardinals are coming off of what, in my opinion, was their best matchup of the season. They were able to take on Bear Lake in a rivalry matchup at home. Came out, struggled in the first set, losing at 25-16. After that, though, a 25-23 win, a 25-23 win, and a 25-19 set win moved the Cardinals into a victory, their first victory in district play under new head coach Shawnee Thompson. Of course, she is returning to the coaching staff after having a break when she had her kids, so a 9-year layoff of coaching volleyball. But for the Cardinals, big names to look for. Katie Sims really broke out in the back half of that matchup against Bear Lake. She ended up having 8 straight kills without a hitting error, which is her longest set of or stretch of that nature on the season to this point in time. 9 total kills in that matchup. Lexi Patterson really had a consistent game across the board. 8 total kills, 7 total kills for Kaylin Lewis. And Callie Groning had maybe her best setting night, as she had 25 set assists on the evening for the Lady Cardinals in that matchup. Another name to look for, though, is Sage McKinley, the libero for the Cardinals. She doesn't really get a lot of kills in the match. She doesn't really get a lot of big numbers in the match. But as the libero, she may be one of the more important back row people because she spells a lot of the players in that back row. And I was talking with Coach about her earlier, and she is really an across-the-board, just consistent player in the back row for the Cardinals. And we had a chance to sit down and talk with her in the matchup or in the week earlier leading up to this game between the Cardinals and the Tigers and get her thoughts on how the season's been going and how she thinks the Cardinals will be able to bounce back and play for the rest of this season, as they have a lot more left to do and a lot more left to prove. So we'll sit down with Sage McKinley right now on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Kayla Burgraff with Sage McKinley from the Soda Springs volleyball team. And now the season so far for the Soda Springs volleyball team has really taken a turn from where it was last year. You guys have improved a lot. What are some of the things that you've seen as differences from this year to last year?
This year I feel like as a team we're more energetic. The atmosphere is a lot lighter.
When you look at some of the positives that have come out of that, the team, when you're on the court, really looks like they're having a lot of fun this year. Is that something that you've noticed as well?
Yeah.
Has Coach Thompson really had much to do with that, or what are some of the things that she's brought to the table this year in her first year coaching back that you've really enjoyed seeing from her?
She has just been trying everyone in different spots, seeing how we all work together in different positions to make us work better as a team.
One of those moves is moving you over to libero, and you were a libero last year as well, and you've played there before. Was there confidence when you moved back to that libero spot and getting to a really familiar position for you?
Yeah, there was.
When you go into a match and your biggest role is defense, how do you approach that type of a role on the team?
I try to just shake off every mistake and look forward to getting the next pass to where it needs to be and doing everything I need to do that.
When you think about the defensive aspect, how important is that, and how good has this team been defensively in your opinion?
I think we're getting a lot better at defense, and by the end of the season we'll be really good.
When you guys took on Bear Lake, it was a rivalry matchup. You guys got your first conference win last week against Bear Lake. How big was that win for you as a senior to knock off the rivals here at home?
It was awesome. Being a senior, it sucks because you won't be able to play ever again, but when you beat a team like that and your whole student section is going crazy, it's like memories that you'll remember forever.
Is that something that you think that can boost this team forward into the back half of this district season and give you guys a chance to make a run towards the state tournament?
Yeah, definitely.
Kayla Burgraff here with Sage McKinley from the Soda volleyball team. And Sage, this next week you guys have another tough week. You have to travel to Aberdeen. This is the last team that you haven't seen so far this year, but you saw them last year. What are some things that Aberdeen does well?
Aberdeen they have good defense and they have some good hitters on their team, so we'll have to work on our defense for that.
When you get done with Aberdeen, after that road trip, you bring Malad back here. This next week might be the toughest week you guys have left on your schedule. How big would it be to get even one of these matches this week?
It'd be really good for our team.
When you're at the end of a season, the pressure can start to mount up. And what are some things that you've learned through your last 3 years of volleyball to help kind of reduce the pressure and keep yourself at ease when you're in practice and on the court?
I try not to think about the game too much, because if I do that, then I don't do as good. As a team, we try to bond a little more, on the buses and in the locker room before the game.
This final question for you. As a senior, when you look at this year, having the amount of success you guys have had as a team this year, and while it hasn't been necessarily a banner year for the team, it's definitely been steps forward from where you guys have been. Are you happy that you got to wrap up your senior year, no matter where this goes, with a team that was competitive?
Yes, I am.
Sage, thank you so much again for taking the time to sit down and talk, and good luck to you guys in the rest of the season. Hopefully you guys can come away with some more wins and make a run towards the state tournament.
Thanks.
That was Sage McKinley, the libero for the Soda Springs Cardinals, as she joined us earlier on in the week. And, of course, we'll be keeping an eye on how the Cardinals do through the rest of this, because you can listen to every match on KBRV 800 The Bear, including a match tomorrow night as they continue their run-through districts against the Malad Dragons. But it's going to be a matchup between the Cardinals and the Cardinals and the Tigers tonight here on KBRV 800 The Bear. We're just a little bit away from the opening serve, the starting lineups, and the national anthem at your home for Soda Springs Volleyball, KBRV 800 The Bear, with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, Their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place, and then they act so surprised when I find them, but I'm like, hello, that's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
It's so pretty here.
Katie's away at college,
There's the library.
but she can still be close to her mom back home. Travis is working on a big report. High-speed internet puts a world of information at his fingertips. Silver Star Communications provides connections that help students learn and keep families close, even when they're miles apart. Get your family in touch and informed with high-speed internet from Silver Star Communications. Call today or visit silverstar.com.
And welcome back out to the home of the Aberdeen Tigers. The Pledge of Allegiance just done, and it's now time for starting lineups between these two squads here on KPRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com. Let's start off with the starting lineups of the Tigers, of the Soda Springs Cardinals, brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth. And the starting lineup start off like this. Callie Groning will be leading things off. Number 6 is Sage McKinley. She's wearing the number 1 tonight as the libero, as she will be out there onto the court. Number 13 is Katie Sims. Number 14 is Jessie Belknap. Number 15 is Haley Ledbetter. And number 16 is Lexi Patterson. On the other side for the Tigers, their starting lineup looks like this. Number 4 is Destiny Ponce. She is a sophomore running out there. Number 5 is Jasmine Barajas. She's a junior, one of the 6 juniors that was originally on the roster for this Tigers team. They're down to 2. Zoe Berend is out for the season. She was hurt early on the year with a knee injury, and Shelby Anderson was hurt actually earlier today working out in the fields as it is potato harvest time up here in Aberdeen. Isabel Beck wears the number 6. She's another junior. Number 7 is McKenna Schritter. Number 8 is Bailey Wallen. And number 11 wraps up the starting lineup. It's Kavehi Beck, a freshman, the only freshman out there on the starting lineup. And number 12 is libero. Gracie Valerino is going to be the libero for the Tigers in this matchup, wearing the number 12. So she is a freshman as well, but she will be out there sporadically for the Tigers, depending on who is in the back row for this squad. The two teams are both going to be wearing white. The Cardinals wearing their road white sleeveless tops with red numbers and red Cardinals written across the back, except for the libero. Sage McKinley is wearing the dark red uniform with the white trim down the sides, white numbers, and white Cardinals written across the back. On the other side for the Tigers, they're wearing the long sleeve jerseys, white on the body part of it, black sleeves going and running down to the wrists with Tigers written across the back in orange numbers as well on the front and back. As the two teams go out to center court. Another interesting storyline that comes into this matchup is the fact that both of these two coaches actually went to school together, as Shawnee Thompson 2 years younger and 2 years behind the elder Melanie Beck at South Fremont High School. And they actually were not able to play on the same varsity team with each other, though, because when Melanie Beck was a senior, they had 10 seniors that season. And so there were no underclassmen on the squad that year for the South Fremont team. So Coach Thompson never played with Coach Beck, but they did go to high school together, and they do know each other. As we are ready for the opening serve, Callie Groning will send it off left to right, and it is going to be bumped up in the back row and drops down, and the Cardinals started out the perfect way as Callie Groning comes up with an ace to open up the action between the two teams. Groning has had a very good season for the Cardinals and was able to build on that in last Thursday's matchup between them and Bear Lake. We'll see if she can continue to do that. That first serve is brought to you by Arctic Circle in Soda Springs, where the good stuff is. This next serve is sent over, dug out in the back row, and then freed back over to the Cardinals. It's going to be Ledbetter up to Groning. She'll set it up into the middle of the court where Sims comes up, back row kill, and drops one down. It goes off of Destiny Ponce, and Groning gets the assist with Sims getting her first kill of the match as the Cardinals jump out in front 2-0. Groning will go back to serve once again, still left to right, working on your radio dial as the serve is high and to the back row, bumped up into the air by Ponce, set towards the near side. Coming up and getting that one is Schritter, but it's dug cleanly in the back row, and Groning tries to save it from going over the net or into the net, but she goes under the net herself, and she is going to pick up the error on that one after trying to save that play, and the Tigers will get the ball back. 2-1. As back to serve this one and sending it over is Schritter. Dug out back row, played by Groning over to Sims. She'll try and drop one down, goes right at Ponce. Sims gets her second kill from the middle position. Groning gets a second assist, and the Cardinals move up 3-1 and get the serve back. Lexi Patterson will check into the match for Soda Springs as Sage McKinley takes a seat on the bench, and Katie Sims will move to the back row. Sims lines one just over the net court, dug back to the Cardinals side, reaching up as Kaylin Lewis to get to it, but she can't quite reach to it, and it drops down on the Cardinals side after Sims tries to dig it out, and it is going to go as a interesting kill to Destiny Ponce I don't think anyone expected. So back to serve now will be the Tigers, down by 1, 3-2. Serve goes into the net, trying to launch that one up and over was Bailey Wallen, so she gets the first service error of the match for either team, and the Cardinals maintain their 2-point lead, 4-2. Kaylin Lewis to run up and serve. She'll send one high and deep, too deep off the back line, and the Cardinals return the favor and return the serve back over to the Tigers. Quick pace here for these two teams, and neither team really able to show much of an advantage as Gracie Valerina is going to come back out to serve. Libero sends one over short to the near side. Good pass up by Lewis, and Belknap and Groning miscommunicate with each other on who was going to take the set. It ends up being Belknap who reached in at the last moment to try and set it, but it drops down harmlessly to the floor, and it's a hitting error on Jesse, though again it was confusion between the two of them. So back to serve once again with the score tied at 4 is Valerina. She'll send one up and arcing, dug out cleanly up into the front row. Groning bump sets it far side where Ledbetter punches it back row too deep off the back line. She couldn't get it to drop in, and Ledbetter picks up her first hitting error, third of the team, and the Cardinals go down by 1, 5-4. As once again back to serve is going to be the libero. Dug out back row by Groning, played forward by Myers and dropped down by Patterson. Off the ceiling goes the dig, played into the net, and the Tigers aren't going to be able to get it over. Patterson's going to come away with the kill. Lexi gets her first of the match, and Taylor Myers gets her first assist in quite some time. So the Cardinals will get the serve right back as Jessie Belknap will move to the back row to do the serving. She'll most likely check out for the libero after this one, but the first serve from her goes over, dug out back row, and misplayed. A lift is going to be called on Valerini, who is replacing J.C. Nielsen, who, as I said, Shelby Anderson, who was hurt in the first this morning out working in the field, so she is not expecting to be the libero in this match as another serve comes from Jessie Belknap, targeting the back corner, drops it on the line, and Jessie's got back-to-back aces as Soda Springs takes a 7-5 lead. Jessie will go back and send her third serve over. And a slap of the ball is going to send it to the back row. Dug forward and played up to the front of the net where it's going to be Beck to send one over just a hair long off the back line. Isabel Beck almost was able to get the point. The Cardinals catch a little bit of a break on that one as it was just about 2 inches long. 8-5, another serve over from Jessie. Played up forward, bump set towards the net, coming up to 3-1 over is going to be Ponce. Great dive and leap by Ledbetter to keep it alive, but again, Belknap and Groning miscommunicated with each other on who was supposed to go for the ball. Groning dove for it and ends up dropping down between the two of them, and it goes as a kill to Destiny Ponce. So 6-8, the Cardinals' lead remains at 2, and back to serve will be the Tigers once again as it's going to be Isabel Beck to send one over. Dug out, Groning's going to send it over to the far side. Back row kill attempt from Katie Sims. Played up into the air by Schrader. It's going to come back to the middle and freed over the net back to the Cardinals. Sims to Groning. She sets up Ledbetter towards the net, really close to the net, and Ledbetter runs into the net, and it's going to be a point over to the Tigers on the net violation by Ledbetter, but that one really was on Groning as she set that ball too close to the net for Ledbetter to really get a clean run up to it. 8-7 now, and back to serve once again is Isabel Beck. She'll line one over. Hard serve, played cleanly by Sims. Set up to the net, and Patterson pounds one over. Can't get it to drop down, though. Set comes back to the near side. Ball dropped down, and it's going to be a kill on the match for McKenna Schritter. as the assist goes to Destiny Ponce, her first assist of the match, and it's all knotted up at 8 here again between the Tigers and the Cardinals. Again to serve, Isabel Beck lines one over too deep off the back line, and the Tigers can't take the lead as they come up with their second service error of the match. It's 9-8 Cardinals on top in set number 1 right here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com. Sage McKinley will check back into the matchup as Jessie Belknap will check out. And McKinley awaits the whistle to serve. She'll rock into her serve, sends one over, dug out in the middle of the court. Bump set over to Ponce, who's going to punch one over, played up into the air by Myers. It's going to be Groning to McKinley, played back row, bumped over to the near side, and pounding one inside the far corner. McKenna Schritter able to come up with a hard kill as she comes up with her second kill of the match. The assist on that one ends up going, I believe, to Bailey Wallen. And the Cardinals back even with the Tigers 9-9 in a tight battle between the two sides. Very young teams for both of them, as no seniors on the Tiger side as they serve it across. Ball popped up into the air. Grani bump sets it forward, and the free ball is going to be played over the net by Sims. Board up goes the ball. Pass up ahead to Wallen. Near side, another pounding shot by McKenna Schritter as Wallen gets another assist. Schritter gets her third kill, second in a row, and it's 10-9. Cardinals trailing by 1. This is the most they've trailed by. They've trailed twice in the match. Once at 5-4, now at 10-9. And back to serve once again is going to be Jasmine Barajas. Ball served over, played forward by Ledbetter. It's going to be Groning setting it up for Sims at the net. Popped up in the back row by the Tigers. Played forward, and a free ball is going to be tipped across the net cords. And down it goes again by McKenna Schritter. No assist really on that one as she was just trying to get the ball across the net and pushed it to the point where the Cardinals really had nobody to get a hand on it. That will send Jasmine Barajas back to serve once again. 11-9, Cardinals down by 2. Jasmine serve, dug out back row by Sims. Groning's going to set this one near side, and Ledbetter tries to drop one short. Played up by Barajas, bump set by Beck, and it's going to be hit over once again by Schritter. Cardinals get the dig out by McKinley. Groning sets it up to Sims. Off the block goes her kill, down with the good angle, and Sims gets her third kill of the match. The Cardinals get back within 1. It's 10-11, Cardinals down against the Tigers. Taylor Myers will check out of the match, and into the match will check Kaylin Lewis as Haley Ledbetter will again go back to serve, standing in the middle of the back row. She'll line one over to the near side, popped up into the air by Schritter. It's going to be set to the near side. Schritter comes up, drops one deep to Ledbetter. Played cleanly by Ledbetter, but it's too far towards the net. And again, McKenna Schritter gets her 5th kill, and it's a 3rd assist for Bailey Wallen. 12-10, the Tigers get the ball back on their side. And to serve this one over is going to be Destiny Ponce. Cardinals get a good work on it. It's going to be Lewis to try and pound one down as Wallen sets it near side. Again, she goes to her favorite target, Schritter, but she can't get it to drop. Lewis again hits one back row, bumped up into the air by Beck. Wallen sets it near side for Schritter for a 3rd time, and down it goes. McKenna Schritter with 6 kills and no hitting errors as Bailey Wallen and McKenna Schritter love that combination. 13-10, the Cardinals trail by 3 to the Tigers of Aberdeen. Another serve comes across, bumped over. It's played by Sims. Groning gets the clean pass over to Sims in the middle of the court. She'll free one over and outside the lines. They're going to call into the net, though, on the Tigers. As on the blocking attempt, I believe they called it on Kavahi Beck. And it's 13-11. The Cardinals will have the serve after the hit went over the net and outside the lines from Sims. So the Cardinals need to take advantage of this break. Groning will go back for the serve once again. 13-11. First set. Serve from Groning. High arcing serve dug out in the back row. It's going to be a bump set by Wallen to the near side. And into the net goes the pounding shot of Isabel Beck. That's her 2nd error of the match. And it's 13-12. Cardinals into a rotation that they like as the hitting power of McKenna Schritter is limited right now with her being in the middle position. Groning will serve this one over. Dug out and played forward. It's going to be Wallen. Near side comes again. Schritter pounded into the block and down. Great job at the net by Jessie Belknap as well as Katie Sims, who combined for the block. So Belknap and Sims catch their first blocks of the match. It's 13-13 halfway through set number 1. Groning to serve, sends one high and short, bumped up into the air by Schritter. Wallen sets it up for Schritter in the middle of the court. She'll get the revenge on that one. Drops one down in between the Cardinals, and it goes as a kill for her, 14-13. Another assist to Bailey Wallen, who's got 5 now in the match. And the Cardinals trail by 1. Ledbetter will check out of the match. Katie Franson will check into the match. Back to serve is McKenna Schritter. She moves to the back row. Good news for the Cardinals is her serve inside on the back line. McKenna Schritter gets an ace to go with her 7 kills, and it's 15-13. The Tigers back up by 2. Schritter will look to continue this run. One of the 4 juniors on the court for the Tigers right now as she'll reach up, lines one just over the net cords. Played up by Sims. She'll bump it to the far side. Belknap comes up and drops it near side. Jessie Belknap got a clean angle on that. Katie Sims with a clean set, and it's 15-14. The Cardinals back within 1. Katie Sims will walk to the back row to serve this time as the rotation moves her there. Into the match, Lexi Patterson returns as a serve from Sims is popped up into the air. It's going to be played near the net over for Patterson, who just tips it over and down. Lexi Patterson with the smart kill. That's her second, and we're all knotted up again at 15. A cleanly played match by both of these teams right now. 4 total hitting errors for the Cardinals, only 4 total hitting errors for the Tigers. Another serve comes over from Sims. That one's going to drop down short, trying to pop it up with Schritter, but she couldn't get a clean pass to a teammate, and Katie Sims gets an ace. She's now put a point up in all categories with kills, assists, aces, and blocks. Sims again to serve, lines one over, another ace. Back to back for Sims. The freshman forces a timeout to be called by the Tigers as they trail 17-15, and the Cardinals have the momentum in set number 1. Remind you, this first set brought to you by London Drug in Grace. They're locally owned, locally operated, and locally loved. They're your local good neighbor pharmacy in the city and township of Grace. So be sure to give them some love and give them some support throughout the volleyball season and throughout the sports season for those 2 squads. Right now, as I said, this match is being very well played by both of these 2 teams. Neither one has really forced a lot of errors or had a lot of mistakes that have been called on either side. As I said, only 2 service errors coming from the Aberdeen Tigers and 2 hitting errors, both to Isabel Beck. On the other side for the Cardinals, Callie Groning, Jessie Belknap, and Haley Ledbetter all have an error to their credit, with 1 error to Kaylin Lewis on the serve. 17-15, though, the Cardinals with the advantage in this matchup, as they look to try and keep things going. And Katie Sims back to serve once again. She takes her time, awaits the whistle from the up judge, and the serve from Sims is going to be lined to the back row, punched up into the air by Ponce. Over to the far side, it's going to be free to cross to the Cardinals. Pass up ahead by Sims. Franson bump sets this one far side for Lewis, tips it off the top of the net. A diving save by Ponce. Wallen sends it near side, and a free ball pass back over to the Cardinals. Lewis to Groning. She'll bump set it to the near side where Belknap tips one over the net, played up into the air by Ponce. Wellens comes over to the near side and is shot over but into the net. They're going to say went Jessie Belknap. And it's 17-16 with the Cardinals giving the point back over to the Aberdeen Tigers. And back to serve is going to be Wallen. So Wallen to serve, tosses the ball up high, lines one up and over the net. Popped up by Franson. It's going to be over to Groning, over to far side, and Patterson got way too high up on that one and pounded it down into the court. The junior couldn't control her leap, and it's going to be called for the hitting error. We're all knotted up at 17 apiece here now. Wallen again to serve. High serve to the near side. Pass up ahead by Sims. Groning sets this one for Belknap, who tips it over the block and down. Jessie Belknap with a smart adjustment at the net cords, able to get the kill. That's her second of the match. 4th assist for Callie Groning, and the Cardinals maintain their lead 18-17. It'll be Taylor Myers back to serve as she checks into the match. Also back into the match is going to be Haley Ledbetter, as taking a seat is going to be Katie Franson. Left to right, the serve of Taylor Myers goes across the court, popped up back row, played by Wallen. It's going to be a free ball over the net by Beck. Near side, Groning is going to set the ball up for Belknap, who tries a back row kill attempt. Right there is Schritter. Ball popped up into the air. Back row kill attempt by Schritter. Tips off the net cords. Cardinals get a pass up ahead from Meyer, and a free ball down by Groning. Groning found the opening in the court with her back over to the Tigers, and Taylor Myers comes up with her second assist of the match as she just kind of moved one forward, and Groning found the open spot without even trying to find it as she hit a backwards pass into the court, hard court. 19-17, 2-point lead, and Taylor Myers is going to serve it into the net to end the service run. Second service error of the match for Soda Springs, 19-18. They lead still by 1, and back to serve is going to be Gracie Valeriana. Her serve over. Haley Ledbetter can't play it correctly as she tried to pass it to the middle of the court. Valeriana comes up with the second ace of the match for the Aberdeen Tigers, and it's all 19s right now on the scoreboard in set number 1. A very tight set between these squads. Another serve comes over, line drive across, and a misplay by Groning this time. Gracie Valeriana gets her second ace of the match. It's 20-19. The Tigers pull ahead by 1 in the late stages of set number 1. Again to serve will be the libero. Gracie sends one high and deep, popped up by Groning. Near side Belknap, bumps that over to Lexi Patterson, sends it back row just a foot long off the back row. Patterson couldn't quite keep it in. A great run up though and a great time jump. It's 21-19 though. Cardinals down by 2. Again, Gracie Valeriana to serve, right to left on your radio dial. She'll send one near side short, pump forward and passed up by Myers. Belknap sets one for Patterson. It's going to be a scramble played by the Tigers to keep it alive. Cardinals keep it alive after a hit comes across. Ledbetter to drop it, finds the far sideline. Belknap gets her second assist or first assist of the match, and Ledbetter comes up with her first kill. 21-20, a huge point there for Soda Springs to get the serve back late in set number 1. Jessie Belknap to serve, lines one over, played up by Schritter. She misplays the ball though, and Jessie Belknap gets her third ace of the match. 21-21 all here on set number 1 at the home of the Aberdeen Tigers in this District 5 matchup as Jessie Belknap is back to serve once again. She'll send one up high and deep. Played up into the air near side. It's going to be a bump set in the middle for Ponce to free one over. Played up into the air. Myers gets it to Groning, sets it to Lexi Patterson, finds the open space in front of McKenna Schritter, and it's 22-21 as Patterson gets her third kill. Another assist to Callie Groning for her fifth, and the Cardinals take that 1 point advantage. Jessie Belknap to serve, sends it high and too deep outside the back line. Jessie gets her first service error of the match, and the Tigers will get back even, 22 apiece. Back to serve for the Tigers is going to be Isabel Beck as she'll run up and send one to the back row. Myers digs it too far back over to the Tigers side, trying to pound one inside the lines as McKenna Schritter, as it came all the way back to her. She sends it too long though. Her first hitting error gives the Cardinals the ball back, 23-22. Sage McKinley will serve once again. The libero sends this one over, left to right, popped up back row. Ponce is going to set this, but misplays the set. The hitting error gives the Cardinals set point as Ponce picks up her first hitting error of the match. She hasn't really had many problems, and another timeout is going to be called by the Aberdeen Tigers with this match in the balance. Cardinals right on the edge of taking this one down. 24-22 on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com. Another reminder, this first set brought to you by London Drug in Grace. They're locally owned, locally operated, and locally loved. They're your local good neighbor pharmacy in Grace, Idaho, just down the road from Soda Springs. And support local businesses. That's the best thing you can do to keep the local economy strong. Right here, the Cardinals are staying strong, but they have a couple of chances to ice this match away as they have 2 set points. Sage McKinley to do the serving as the libero for the Cardinals, and she gets set to send one left to right here against the Tigers. She'll toss it up, sends one high and short, popped up from the back row, played forward by Wallen, and it's going to be a free ball back over to Soda Springs. Sims punches one up into the air, drop back down. Ledbetter right there to keep it alive, and Groning frees one back over to the Tigers. Played up ahead by Schritter. Wallen sends it near side to Schritter. It's going to be off the block, and Schritter finds the hardwood. McKenna Schritter gets her 8th kill of the match. 6 assists for Bailey Wallen, and we're only in set number 1. 24-23. The Cardinals have another set point, and back to serve it to him is Jasmine Barajas. Barajas holds the ball up high. She went on a good run her first time. This time it's to Ledbetter. Groning gets the set. Over to Katie Sims. Dropped into the block, and down it goes. The clean block from McKenna Schritter gets the match tied up at 24, and we're headed to extra points. It'll be Barajas back to serve once again for the Tigers as she will roll up into a serve. Sends one across. Played up by Myers. It's going to be Groning setting it up back row, and a free ball comes from Reagan Yamauchi. Played up into the air by Barajas. Warren sends it up, and a far side hit comes down and in. McKenna Schritter with her 9th kill. 9 kills for Schroeder and a timeout called by the Cardinals as they want to talk things over. And right now, if you're Soda Springs, there's only one thing you can really do, and that's just try and focus on Schroeder as she is being set the ball every single time. It doesn't matter if she's front row, back row, wherever. Whenever she is near the net, whenever she has a chance to get the ball, she is the one who has been taking it and trying to get the kills down because that is their most consistent hitter. They've gone to Ponce a couple of times. They've gone to Beck a couple of times. But realistically, McKenna Schroeder is the only offensive threat that you have to worry about over on the Tigers' side. So if you're the blockers, you need to focus on the defensive end of getting in front of her. She is your main target in this match at this point in time. 25-24, the Cardinals trail right now, and it'll be them getting the serve as it goes across from Jasmine Barajas right to left. She stands, awaits the whistle. And Barajas will now go into her routine, walks up and lines one to the back row. Popped up by Myers. Gronding bump sets this one forward, and it'll be Sims to free the ball across into the back row of the Tigers. Played up ahead, Wallen sends it up, and it's going to be freed so far off the back line. Just making the late decision to let it go long is Sage McKinley, and the Cardinals catch a break. 25 call here in set number 1. 2 points away, or both teams away from taking this first set, and it's going to be a huge one in keeping this match going and getting an advantage in the sets. As Ledbetter to serve will line one deep into the back row, played up by Wallen, and it's going to be a free ball over by Ponce. Pass up by Gronding, kept alive. McKinley gets it to Lewis, who frees one into the back row again. Now the Tigers have a chance. Wallen sets it up near side. Schroeder drops it backside corner. McKenna Schroeder gets her 10th kill now, and another assist by Wallen as she loves finding Schroeder coming off from that outside hitting position. 26-25, and back to serve is going to be Destiny Ponce. She'll walk up, lines one short into the net, and the service error gives the Cardinals life once again, all up at 26 here in set number 1. 3 service errors now in the match for Aberdeen, and in that set, as they have 7 total errors, the Cardinals matching them with 8 total errors. Callie Gronding back to serves, 3rd time through the rotation now for the Cardinals. Serve is a clean one. Wallen sets it up to the near side for Schroeder. She'll hit it through the block and down. McKenna Schroeder with her 11th kill of the set. 27-26. Schroeder is on a roll from her outside position, but now she moves to the back row. This is where the Cardinals have to take advantage with Schroeder not near the net. She'll be serving as she lines one over the net. Played up into the air. Lewis to Gronding. She'll set it up for Lewis once again, who from the back row hits it too long, and the first set wraps up with the Cardinals dropping it 28-26 to the Aberdeen Tigers. We'll take a break and come back with more here on KBRV 800, the Bears coverage of Soda Springs Volleyball on your home for the Cardinals, mylocalradio.com.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials for the week of October 1st through the 7th. Catch Case-Lot Fever. Grab select varieties of canned vegetables, 24 in a case for $12. Canned tuna fish, 48 cans for $28.32, or a case of 12 cans of premium chunk white chicken for just $11.89. Pasta sauces come in cases of 12 for $12, 20 for $20, or 24 for $24. That's a look at your Lalaton's food specials in Soda Springs.
This is the sound of salmonella gyrating on your undercooked chicken. And it looks like Mom might be taking it out a little early. Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So use a thermometer to cook each type of meat to the right temperature. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
It's so pretty here.
Katie's away at college,
There's the library.
but she can still be close to her mom back home. Travis is working on a big report. High-speed internet puts a world of information at his fingertips. Silver Star Communications provides connections that help students learn and keep families close, even when they're miles apart. Get your family in touch and informed with high-speed internet from Silver Star Communications. Call today or visit silverstar.com.
A very competitive first match between the Aberdeen Tigers and the Soda Springs Cardinals as we come back here to the home of the Tigers with them leading 1-0 on top of Soda Springs. Thank you again for joining us on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com. Looking at the numbers, again, it has been the McKenna Schritter show for Aberdeen and the Tigers. 11 kills in the match to only 2 hitting errors to this point in time, as she really has been the threat, the only threat from the Aberdeen Tigers. On the other side for the Soda Springs Cardinals, they have really been moving the ball around and giving it to plenty of different players. 10 total kills, 3 of those going to Lexi Patterson, 3 to Katie Sims, 2 to Jessie Belknap, 1 to Haley Ledbetter, and 1 to Callie Groning. 5 assists to Callie Groning. They've been setting those around as well, as Taylor Myers has 2, Jessie Belknap and Katie Sims both have 1. It'll be Aberdeen to open up the serve in set number 2. This first serve brought to you by Arctic Circle in Soda Springs, where the good stuff is. It'll be McKenna Schritter to open up with the serve, as she stands on the near side of the court from left to right. She'll be serving on your radio dial. Cardinals need to fight back from trailing in the first set. Again, they've done that multiple times this year as the first serve dug out by McKinley. Groning sets it to the near side. Lewis comes up and pounds one into the net. Kaylin Lewis on her first hitting attempt that goes down for a score is not in the way that the Cardinals want it, as Coach Shawnee Thompson up off the bench applauding her team, though. It's 1-0 Cardinals trailing here in set number 2. Ball served over by Schritter again. McKinley, a clean pass up ahead to Groning. She'll set it up for Sims, who tries backside. Played up ahead. Ponce gets the ball freed over, and again it's McKinley to Groning. Near side, Sims comes up from her middle position, pounds one off the block, popped up by Schritter, played forward, and a free ball by Wallen is going to be sent back to the Cardinals. Reagan Yamauchi to Groning, gets it to the near side. Lewis is going to pound one down, spins it down, but it can't find the hardwood. Over to the far side it goes, and off the block this time goes the kill of Isabel Beck as she gets her first kill of the match, and the 10th assist now for Bailey Wallen. 2-0 Cardinals trailing now, and back to service Schritter again as she moves from the near side to the far side of the court. She'll serve one over, popped up by Yamauchi. Groning sets it to the near side. Lewis comes up again, tries to find some hardwood. Good clean pop up though by the Tigers. Ball freed over and across and dug up into the air. Cardinals get it to Groning. Sims comes over, hits one long off the far side corner. Katie Sims comes up with her first hitting error of the match, and the Cardinals go down 3-0 to the Aberdeen Tigers in this one. It'll be Schritter to serve once again. Lines one over, short and down. McKenna Schritter has taken over this match for the Aberdeen Tigers. I've said it multiple times, and I don't think I can say it enough times, as she has continued to dominate Soda Springs on their side. She'll have another serve coming up. Walks up and now lines one to the back row. Played up by McKinley. Bumped up by Myers. And it's going to be freed over by Sims across to the Tigers. Near side Wallen sets one high up into the air. Far side. Good run up and off the block. Tipped out of bounds as the kill from Isabel Beck as she gets her second. And it's 5-0. The Cardinals finding themselves in a hole right now to the Tigers in the early going. All on the serve of McKenna Schritter, who has been dangerous whether in the front or back row. Schritter serves again. Dug out back row by Yamauchi. Groning sets one up into the middle. Sims comes up, pounds one too far to the outside this time. Another hitting error for Katie Sims, as that is going to be her second, and the Cardinals go down 6-0. Back to serve again is going to be Schritter. Walks up, lines one over and across, saves McKinley, gets a dig, it's a poor one though, as it has Groning have to go and track it down. Wallen sets this one up into the middle, Beck drops one down, off the ceiling tile goes the ball. Groning gets a clean set on it though. Katie Franson to the near side, and outside the line goes the ball. A tough call there for the Cardinals, as Katie Franson looked to have a clean hit and one on the line, but it'll go back over to the Tigers. 7-0 Aberdeen on top of Soda Springs in set number 2. They already lead 1-0 here in what was a very competitive first set. Right now, though, they seem to be running away and taking advantage of the momentum they got there. Official will once again blow his whistle, and Schritter will serve for the 8th time. Ball dug out back row. Groning sets it to the middle, where Franson sends one over. Schritter, clean pop up to Ponce, who sets it up towards the net. Off the net goes Isabel Beck's kill, clayed up by the Groning, and then near side Lewis tries to drop one down, and the Cardinals end the run. Kaylin Lewis gets her first kill. Callie Groning gets the assist, and the Cardinals end the run, and it couldn't have come at a better time as they get it back up onto the scoreboard, 7-1. They'd been blanked to that point in time, and it hadn't all been just on them. It had been a mix of the good play by the Tigers as well as some inconsistent play by Soda Springs. Callie Groning will go back to serve once again for the Cardinals. The senior setter will send one up and short, played up by Schroeder. Towards the net, bumped up and off of the top. It's going to be a point over to the Cardinals as it was dug too high up into the air as Wallen tried to get it down, and it goes as a point to Soda Springs. 7-2. It ended up bumping off of the netting that divides the two courts. Groning to serve again. She'll send one high and deep. Popped up into the air. Wallen gets a clean set far side. Isabel Beck sends one into the net, and that goes as 4 hits on the Tigers as Isabel Beck picks up her 3rd hitting error of the match, and it's 7-3. Cardinals getting a bit of a run here right now as they look to try and build their momentum and get back into this match by taking set number 2. A long ways to go to get there, though. Callie Groning to serve. She'll send one high and short. Played up and misplayed in the back row by Destiny Ponce as it goes as an ace to Callie Groning. She gets her 2nd. The short moon serve goes as a great play for Groning as she takes advantage for her 2nd ace. 7-4. Right to left. Groning will serve once again. First serve over, and it's going to be dug up into the back row. Played forward towards the net, and another ace this time goes to Groning. 3 aces in the match now as Callie Groning gets her 2nd in a row. 7-5. The Cardinals responding to the 7 straight points by the Tigers by reeling off 5 of their own. Callie to serve again. Sends one high and short. Played up into the air. Wallen to free one back over to the Cardinals. Played up by Groning. It's going to be Franson to the near side where Lewis will send one over back row. Schroeder to Wallen, far side. She sets up Isabel Beck too far in the back row, but Myers right there to keep it alive, and Lewis frees it over again. A one-handed save by Myers. Wallen, another set to the far side. Lewis, again a hard kill attempt. This time it's Sage McKinley with the clean dig, and a free ball into the net by Katie Franson as Kaylin Lewis and Franson collided, and it goes as a hitting error on Franson. But the Cardinals do get back into this match. 8-5, they trail by 3. And they're showing their defense can hang with the hard hits that are coming from the Tigers. Back to serve this time is Bailey Wallen. Serves it over, dug up into the air, played up by Groning, but it goes as an ace as the short serve is popped over by Wallen, who said, I saw you doing it, so, monkey see, monkey do, and I'm going to take the kill. 9-5, back up by 4, Aberdeen and the Tigers, set number 2. They took set number 1. Now trying to get that dominant 2-0 set lead. Another short serve played up into the air by Lewis. Groning sets this one to the near side. Belknap comes up, punches one down, popped up into the net, kept up in the air and freed over by Wallen. Sage McKinley passes it up ahead to Groning. She'll set this one up at the net. Franson pounds one down into the net courts. Katie gets her 3rd hitting error, just mistimed her leap a little bit, and once again the Tigers double up the Cardinals 10-5. It'll be Wallen back to serve again. As a setter, she's had a good match, and also as a server, she's been very consistent as well. Myers with the dig to Groning. She'll set it up into the middle. Franson pounds one down too far outside the line. Just didn't have the right touch on it, did Katie Franson, and she gets her 4th hitting error of the match, her 3rd of this set. 11-5, Cardinals back down by 6, allowing another big run to come off from the Tigers of Aberdeen. 4 straight points. 3 of those off of the serve of Wallen. She'll look to serve one more time. High serve and short. Played up by Lewis. Groning. Another set to the near side. Belknap comes up, spins one down off of the roof as it just touches. Ponce sets one up and is freed over the net by Barajas. Cardinals get the ball cleanly. Groning sets this one up for Belknap, who frees one over with some spin. Played up by Wallen. Barajas sets it over to the far side where Isabel Beck sets it into the net, climbs over the net as a good 3/4 of that ball bounced below it, but Isabel Beck is going to get away with it as climbs over the net and drops down. Barajas gets her 1st assist of the match. It's 12-5. Back to serve again is Wallen. 7-point lead for the Tigers. Ball bumped up into the air as Myers gets it over to Groning. Coming up, and Franson will just free this one over. Played up into the air by Schroeder. Wallen sets it over to Beck. Popped up into the air, into the net. They're going to say went the body of, I believe, Katie Franson. A timeout's going to be called by the Cardinals as they trail by 8, 13-5. to the Tigers of Aberdeen. A struggle for the Cardinals in this second set, as they have not been able to find that consistent rhythm that they had in the first set, particularly on the defensive end, and have had a lot of struggle returning the hits coming from the Aberdeen Tigers. They've also had a lot more errors in this set than they did in that first set. They played much more consistent, and they were not necessarily committing some of those infractions and those violations that they were committing by sending the ball into the net or too far outside the line. It almost seems like the Cardinals are trying too much to hit it around the Tigers and not trying to hit it just down into the court. They're trying to get the points themselves instead of forcing the issue to the Tigers and making them make mistakes. That might be the biggest difference as the Cardinals look to try and come out of the huddle after the timeout was called to regain their composure out there, down by 8, 13-5. It'll be Wallen back to serve once again. She'll pound the ball down at her feet a couple times as she waits for the whistle, and now the junior will walk up, stride up, and send one high and short. Played up into the air by Myers. Groning is going to set this one to Lewis, who drops one down back row. Right there is Schroeder. She digs it out, and everybody on the front row came back. Instead of going forward to try and get it, it goes as a kill to Kaylin Lewis as she gets her second kill, and a assist to Groning is her second as well. Those are the first 2 assists of the set for the Cardinals in this set. Number 2, 13-6, they trail by 7 as Katie Sims checks in to serve. It's going to be dug out outside the lines, and Katie Sims, the freshman, gets her 3rd ace of the match. 13-7, Cardinals back within 6 here in set number 2. Sims will serve again, line drive into the net, and it bumps the foul pole on the far side free from the net cords as it makes it 14-7. A very hard serve by Sims, but not necessarily the most accurate. Into the match will go the libero, as to serve is Gracie Valeriana. And the whistles blow as there's a brief pause in the match. And the far side antenna, I think they're going to fix the far side antenna that I said was jostled loose by the serve from Katie Sims. So they go back over to fix that one. And Coach Melanie Beck goes over to help adjust that as well. 14-7, Cardinals trailing on the court for the Cardinals. Lexi Patterson, Jessie Belknap, Callie Groning, Katie Sims, Kaylin Lewis, and Taylor Myers are the 6 for Soda. Back to serve is going to be Gracie Valeriana. Valeriano walks up, 2 steps forward, lines one over short. Played up into the air by Sims. Groning sets it to the middle. Belknap spins one back row. Right there, though, is Schroeder. Ball played far side. Isabella Beck off the block. Groning, one arm saves the ball. Tipped down just outside the line on the near side. Smart play by Jessie Belknap, but she couldn't find the hardwood inside the red lines, and it goes to 15-17. Cardinals down by 8 once again as Valeriano will serve it just over the net cords. Played up into the air. Groning passes it back to the middle of the court, and Lewis will free it over from the back row. Schroeder gets it up into the air, freed back across to the Cardinals by Wallen, where Belknap sets this one at the net near side. Lewis drops it down off the back row, but a clean dig by Schroeder, played up and over the net by the Tigers. A great rally going between the two teams as Groning back sets it for Belknap, drops it back row, but a one-arm save by Wallen. Popped up into the air, and this time Pons tries to get one to drop down. Sims right there for the dig, though. Groning sets it near side for Lewis, backside off of the hands of Valeriana, and it drops out of play. Lewis gets the kill as she found the weak spot in the armor of the Aberdeen Tigers. Groning gets another assist, her 8th of the match. It's 15-8, Cardinals back within 7 in set number 2. Great rally by the two teams there. Running up, Kaylin Lewis to serve, and a running jump serve is mishit and ends up going as a service error for Kaylin Lewis, her 2nd of the match, and the Cardinals give it right back over to the Tigers, 16-8, still being doubled up by Aberdeen. Here on the road, the Aberdeen Tigers will run up again. Isabel Beck serves it into the net, so she'll return it right back over to the Cardinals as the junior couldn't get enough air underneath that one. 16-9, Cardinals back within 7. It'll be the sophomore Jessie Belknap to serve. Jessie takes one step forward, lines one into the net herself. And another mistake by the Cardinals gives the 8-point advantage back over to the Tigers of Aberdeen. 17-9. Back to serve is going to be Jasmine Barajas wearing the number 5. Takes 2 steps, One up in the air, dug out in the back row. Myers gets it to Grani. She'll tip this one over and then kept alive and then freed back over to the Cardinals. They'll free it back over to the Tigers, and it rolls up the net cords and down. Groning with an unintentional ace, or kill I should say, as she just flailed for the ball to get it back over the net as no one was on the far side of the court for the Cardinals and ends up getting the kill. It's 17-10 now. Cardinals down by 7, but with the serve. Sage McKinley sends one high and deep. Dug up towards the net. It's going to be Wallen setting it far side where Schroeder comes up and drops one down. Almost saved up into the air, but the Cardinals and McKinley and Lewis just couldn't quite get there. 18-10, and Schroeder comes up with her 12th kill, but her first of this second set. 18-10, back to serve is going to be Ponce, as she will walk up and will send one across. Popped up into the air by Sims. Back set to Meyer. She'll hit it off the block, off the net, and down it goes. Taylor Meyer comes up with the kill, her first of the match. Another assist to Groning with a clean assist back set to Myers, and it goes 18-11. The Cardinals now trading points with the Tigers. This can't be what you do, though, with your Soda Springs. Back to serve is Myers. She'll send one over. Played up into the air to Wallen, who sets it to the far side. Schroeder comes up, pounds one hard. Popped up into the air near side. Sims, and down goes the kill from Lewis. Kept alive in the back row, but back to the Cardinals. Near side, Lewis another chance into the net. Her hit goes, and it drops onto the Cardinals side. 19-11, Soda Springs gives the ball back over to the Aberdeen Tigers with them in front by 8. For Lewis, it's her second hitting error of the match. Schroeder to serve. She'll send it left to right over to the Cardinals. Groning sets it to the near side. Lewis had run up, but now had to stop it for the set. Schroeder sets it up ahead. It's a pass over to Wallen. Far side, Isabel Beck sends one down. The Cardinals scramble to free one back over where Schroeder passes up ahead to Wallen once again. Far side, Isabel Beck comes up, drops one down, but kept alive by McKinley. Clean dig in the back row for Groning, who sets it up for Lewis. She'll send it too far off the back line. Kaylin Lewis can't keep it in. Gets her third hitting error of the match, and it's 20-11. The Cardinals down by 9. Again, back to serve this one over is going to be Schroeder. She'll walk up, lines one short, dug back over to the Tiger side, popped up into the air. Wallen's going to set it far side. Isabel Beck goes off the block, pumped up into the air, this time by Myers for the Cardinals. Reagan Yamauchi gets this one up ahead, bumped over and across to the Tigers by Lewis. Wallen, another chance to set. She sets it far side. Beck pounds one off outside the line. Isabel Beck gets her fourth hitting error of the match, and the Cardinals get back within 8 again, 20-12. They need a run here as their time is running out in set number 2 before they drop down to 2-0 down to the Aberdeen Tigers. It'll be Callie Groning back to serve through one full rotation for the Cardinals. Callie to serve, sends one up, too short, bumped up into the air, played forward by Schroeder, and it's going to be free to cross the net to Belknap. She passes it to Groning, sets it to the near side where Sims drops one off the back row. Right there's Ponce. Over to the far side, Schroeder from the back row is going to try and drop one down. Clean play at the net cords, and it's going to be rolling up the net, but the Cardinals get a chance. Far side, Belknap spins one down, and it drops through. Belknap palmed the ball down and had very little spin on it, and it took the Tigers by surprise. 5 assists now for Groning in the match and 3 kills for Jessie Belknap. Callie Groning will go back to serve once again in the back row. The senior sends one high and short. Popped up into the air. It's going to be Wallen sending one towards the net. Jousted for it. Drops down. And the error is going to go on Bailey Wallen as she set it too close to the net for a real good run from the Tigers. The Cardinals get back within 6. Their first big run of this set since they opened up with a 5-point run. And it's 20-14. Cardinals needing this set in order to keep from going down 2-0 to Aberdeen and the Tigers. And this is a very important match between these two teams because the winner of this match goes to 2-2 in district play, while the loser goes to 1-3 into that 4 spot. This for the 3 and 4 spot. And again, with the Malad Lady Dragons really running away right now with their matchup, this is going to end up being a battle for the number 2 seed, and anytime you can get the better advantage in that matchup between the final 4 teams, you have the advantage on your side. So 20-14, Cardinals down by 6. Here's set number 2 as Callie Groning will go back to serve once again. Awaits the whistle from the up judge, and now we'll get it back to Groning. She'll send one high and short, played up into the air by Barajas over to the far side where it's free to cross by Kaylin Beck. Or Kavia Beck. It's going to be far side Belknap. Drops one down inside the line on the near side. Jessie Belknap gets back-to-back kills. Another assist for Callie Groning, gets her 11th of the match, and it's 20-15. Groning again will get set to serve. Two sides ready. Whistle blows as Groning will rock into her serve. Another short serve to the far side. Bumped over to the Cardinals side. Lewis reacts but doesn't react quickly enough, and Isabel Beck ends up getting her 4th kill of the match, 4th kill of the set on something I don't think either team thought would drop. 21-15 after the Cardinals froze on the ball coming over. 6-point advantage for Aberdeen and the Tigers. Back to serve is Wallen. She'll rock into her serve, sends it to the back row. Bumped up into the air, Groning sets it at the net for Sims. Played over, but Pons sets this one into the net. Reaching over the net and into the net goes the bump of Jasmine Barajas. The hitting error cost her and her team a point. 21-16, the Cardinals back within 5. Katie Sims back to serve, and a good player to have back there. She does have 3 aces in the match. Katie tosses it up. Sends one to the near side back row. Schroeder, clean pass up ahead. Wallen frees it back row of the Cardinals. Myers passes up ahead to Groning. She'll set it to the near side. Lewis drops one down. Back row, clean kill. And Kaylin Lewis comes up with her 4th. Another assist goes to Callie Groning. It's 21-17, a 4-point advantage for the Tigers of Aberdeen, but the Cardinals closing. Sims to serve again. Sends it too far off the back line. Katie Sims got the Cardinals within 4. They dropped to back 5 on her 2nd service error, and back to serve again will be the Tigers, up 22-17, set number 2. Back to do the serving, Gracie Valeriana sends it over, dug up back row by Lewis, played up by Sims to the near side, and it's going to be Patterson to free the ball over. Popped up where Wallen's going to set this one up into the middle of the court. Ponce comes up, spins one back row. Played up ahead, Groning catches the ball there. It's going to be Patterson who comes up, tipped at the net, and Schroeder gets it up ahead. Far side, goes over to Isabel Beck, off the block and out of bounds. She played it correctly on the angle, and Beck comes up with the kill. Her 5th now, as she's taken over for McKenna Schroeder as the main person to go to for the Tigers in this 2nd set. So back to serve again is going to be Valeriana, dug up by Lewis. 23-17 Cardinals trail as Belknap comes up, drops one down. Jessie Belknap not giving up on her team and not giving up in the match. She gets her 5th kill. Callie Groning another assist. 23-18 now. Cardinals back within 5, but again, running out of chances here as Kaylin Lewis goes back to serve. Lewis runs up. She'll line one over, dug out in the back row, played high up into the air. Wallen sets it far side. Isabel Beck comes up, drops one hard off of the back row. Ball jousted for, and Isabel Beck wins the joust and drops it over Belknap, who I don't think thought Isabel Beck was going to come up. Isabel with 6 kills now, 24-18, and it's set point in set number 2. The Tigers will run up as Beck will line one over back row, dug up cleanly. Belknap sets it to the near side. It's going to be Patterson trying to drop it back row. Played up into the air and sent across by Schroeder. Groning set near side. Myers sends one back row, played up into the air by Beck. Wallen sets it over to the far side. Schroeder comes up, drops one back row of the Cardinals. Clean dig, and it's going to be Patterson colliding on the play with Groning, and it ends up being the point as 25-18 goes the play, and it'll be a point and kill to Schroeder on the far side for her 13th of the match. We'll take a break, come back with more on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Rage Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
Welcome back out to the home of the Aberdeen Tigers. Caleb Burgraff here on KBRV 800 The Bear, as the Soda Springs Cardinals have backed themselves into a hole in this matchup as they drop the first set 28-26 before dropping that second set in what they turned into a much tighter affair than it had been, but a 25-18 loss in that second set. So they have a long ways to come back in this one. Down 2-0 in this best of 5 sets between these two squads. The Cardinals will be opening up with the serve. Thank you again for joining us on KBRV 800 The Bear, as well as online at mylocalradio.com. This first serve of the third set brought to you by Arctic Circle in Soda Springs, where the good stuff is. It'll be Callie Groning back to serve for Soda Springs as the senior will look to try and get them to a good start. Callie sends one high and short, bumped up into the air by Ponce, played by Wallen, back to the middle of the court, and Ponce will free it back over to the Cardinals. Groning sets to Belknap. She'll set it to the far side. Sims comes up, drops it outside the lines, and the Cardinals give the ball over on the first attempt as Katie Sims gets her third hitting error of the match to go with her 3 kills. She's been very quiet in this match after a very strong one against Bear Lake. Back to open up the serving for Aberdeen is McKenna Schroeder. She'll send one over, dug out by Ledbetter. Groning sets this to the far side. Jessie Belknap comes up, hits it, gets away with it though. Jessie Belknap with her 6th kill. Callie Groning gets her 14th assist, and the Cardinals even it back up 1 apiece in the third set. Cardinals down 2-0 though, as they need a big run here to get themselves back into this match. Katie Sims, the freshman, will go back to serve. She rocks into it, sends one over, back row, bumped up into the air, and it's going to be pounded through by Isabel Beck. Clean dig by Ledbetter in the back row, and then Katie Sims tries to drop one through. Played up ahead, bump set to the near side, Isabel Beck into the block, and it's going to be a point to the Cardinals. They're going to call 4 hits on the Tigers, so no block. The error goes on Isabel Beck for her 5th, and the Cardinals take the lead 2-1 in set number 3. It'll be Katie Sims back to do the serving. And a question from the Aberdeen coach. I don't think she thought it was a 4-hit error, as she thought it was a block as well. Ball dug up in the back row after the serve, though. Wallen sets it near side. Isabel Beck sends one over. Punched up into the air. Belknap bumps it up for Patterson, who tries to send one back row. It's going to end up dropping against the far side wall. Lexi Patterson gets her 1st kill since the first set, and Belknap gets her 2nd assist of the match. 3-1, Cardinals back up by 2 now. Good run here by them, and Katie Sims will serve it across again. Popped up back row by Ponce. It's going to be Wallen sending it near side where Isabel Beck tries to drop it through. Cardinals try to free this one across, but they're going to end up getting 4 hits on it. So give Isabel Beck the kill. 7 kills to her in the match. Wallen gets her 15th assist, and it's 3-2. Cardinals still up by 1, and back to serve is going to be Wallen, the junior. Wallen walks up and sends one over near side, outside the line though, as it ends up going as her 2nd service error. And it's 4-2 now. Cardinals once again back up by a pair. So Soda almost gave the ball back over to the Tigers. Instead, it will be their serve. Kaylin Lewis will go back to do that serving. So Kaylin sends one back row, played up by Ponce. Good pass up ahead to Wallen. She'll send it to the near side, and a pound down by Beck. Too far off the back line. Isabel had the right idea, but couldn't find the inside of the far red line. 5-2, the Cardinals back up by 3 now. Caitlin Lewis will be set to serve once again. She'll send one back row, far side, popped up into the air. Wallen's going to pass it to the near side, though Beck is going to hit it into the net. Down it goes. Beck gets another hitting here. 3 out of her 4 kill attempts have ended up being errors now, and it's 6-2. Again, another serve comes across by Lewis. Schroeder to Wallen, near side. Beck tips one over the net. Smart play by Beck. She went hard the last 4 times. The Cardinals weren't expecting the soft tip over the net, and it ends up dropping down for her 2nd kill of the set, 8th kill of the match. 6-3 now, and into the game is going to be the libero, Gracie Valeriana, to serve. So Gracie will walk up, sends a line drive over, dug out back row. Belknap sets it over for Patterson, who pops one across. Wallen sets it up ahead, and it's going to be freed down by Ponce, kept alive though by Myers. Groning sets this one up again near side. Belknap drops it back row, and into the net goes the play of Isabel Beck. So it goes as no point to Belknap, but it does go as a point to the Cardinals, 7-3, and Jesse will go back to serve. Cardinals up by 4, set number 3. Belknap walks up, lines one over, dug out back row by Schroeder, played back into the court by Wallen after went to the far side. Ball goes down, and Ponce ends up dropping it in the back line as Taylor Myers and Katie Sims both watched it drop between them. Destiny Ponce gets her 3rd kill. 17 assists now for Bailey Wallen, and it's 7-4 as back to serve will be Isabel Beck. Moving to the back row, to the front row goes McKenna Schroeder. Beck runs up, lines one over, dug out back row. Groning sets this to the near side at the 10-foot line and is played across by Ledbetter. Over to the far side, played into the middle of the court. Beck tries to spin one down again. Isabel Beck with the back row kill gets her 9th of the match. It's 18 assists now for Bailey Wallen, and it's 7-5. The Tigers back within 2. Aberdeen's been consistent in this match, and that's been the biggest difference between them and the Cardinals. Aberdeen will run up. Beck sends one across. It'll go as an ace. She picked on Katie Sims, the freshman, and Sims couldn't respond quickly enough. It goes as Beck's first ace of the match, and Isabel builds it back to a 1-point advantage for the Cardinals, 7-6. Isabel runs up again to serve for the Tigers. Line drive, dug up back row, clean dig, played by Groning, far side. Sims comes up, punches one down, misplayed, but the Tigers aren't going to get away with it, and on the backside, Katie Sims gets the kill. So Sims picks up her 4th kill. It's been a while since we said her name. Callie Groning gets her 15th assist, and it's 8-6 once again as Sage McKinley checks in to serve, drops down in front of the back row of Isabel Beck, and it's going to be McKinley picking up her first ace of the match. So McKinley goes back again, 9-6, as the libero for the Cardinals will serve. Near side, dug up. Played back into the middle of the court by Schroeder, and it's going to be freed across by Beck. McKinley up ahead to Groning, sets it far side. Ledbetter comes up, pops one down, back row, off the ceiling it goes, but a good reaction, and a free ball goes into the net. Schroeder picks up only her 3rd hitting error of the match, but it goes as a point to the Cardinals. They're up by 4 again, 10-6. Sage McKinley will get set to serve this one once again. Rocks into her serve and now sends a free ball over. Popped up back row. It's going to be set by Wallen to the near side. Schroeder comes up, sends it into the net. And maybe the fatigue wearing on McKenna Schroeder as she gets her 2nd hitting error. She doesn't look to be hitting it as cleanly as she was earlier on in this match. And again, it is potato harvest here in Aberdeen, so these girls have been working a full day coming into this. Ball served over again. Wallen sets up the middle. Ponce frees one over. Bumped up back across net. Now Ponce sends it back to Myers. She'll set it up to Groning. Over to Sims. Into the block. And it's a clean block at the net by McKenna Schroeder, her 2nd of the match. And the Cardinals backed up by 4 as they give it back over to the Tigers, 11-7. To serve the ball over is going to be Jasmine Barajas. Dug out back row by Myers. Played by Groning. Near side, Ledbetter tries to drop one down and gets it. She mistimed her jump, but again, she gets away with it. Ledbetter with her 2nd kill. 16 assists now for Groning as she's been spreading the ball out evenly. And it's 12-7. The Cardinals back up by 5. Matching their biggest lead of this 3rd set. 7 different Cardinals have gotten in on the killing spree at this point in time and onto the scorebook as the ball served across by Ledbetter this time. Back row, Isabel Beck tries to drop one down. Right there, though, is Ledbetter. Far side, Lewis tries to spin one across. Dumped up into the air. Near side, it's going to be hit over and across the court. Lewis keeps it up in the air. McKinley gives it over to Ledbetter. Drops across to Schroeder. Pass up ahead to Wallen. Near side, Schroeder again into the net. And another hitting error by McKenna Schroeder as she picks up her 5th of the match. 13-7 now in the 3rd set. The Cardinals building that lead up to 6. Ledbetter again to serve for Soda. Left to right. She'll send one across. Dug up back row. Played to Schritter. She'll free one into the net. It's going to go as an ace to Haley Ledbetter, though, as she gets her first ace. And a timeout's going to be called by the Aberdeen Tigers, with the Cardinals doubling up the Tigers in set number 3, 14-7. This set brought to you by A&C Embroidery. They're in the business of making your business or team look good. Give them a call today at 208-604-1775. Thank you again for joining us here on KBRV 800 The Bear, as well as online at mylocalradio.com, where you can watch every Soda Springs volleyball game all the way up to the postseason, and you can listen to every volleyball game as well on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com if you click the Listen Live tab right there. 14-7, the Cardinals bouncing back after what was a struggle in set number 1. Or set number 2, excuse me, after a battle in set number 1. It was a 28-26 battle in set number 1. 25-18, the Cardinals dropped the second set in a set where they really did struggle with their control. But right now, again, it does look like they've bounced back, and it's 14-7. As Ledbetter will be back to serve. Haley sends one into the net. The timeout breaks up the rhythm that Ledbetter was on, and it goes as her first service error of the match. Back to serve is going to be Ponce for the Aberdeen Tigers. 14-8, they trail by 6 as Ponce walks up, lines one over the net. Dug up by McKinley. Groning sets this to the far side. Right there's Lewis. She'll pound one into the net. Kaylin Lewis with her 4th hitting error of the match to go with her 4 kills, and it's 14-9, back within 5 are the Tigers of Aberdeen. Back to serve Ponce once again. Right to left, she'll send one back row. Played up by McKinley. Groning sets it to the middle of the court. Katie Sims comes up, tipped at the net by the block. Over to Wallen. She'll set it to the near side. Schritter comes up, drops one over the block, kept alive though. Cardinals will bump it by Sims, getting it into the back row for Lewis. Freed back into the hands of the Tigers, and it'll bump a ball into the back row of the Cardinals, Groning gets it over to Sims. She'll tip one down. Bumped up back row. Barajas right there. Isabel Beck pops one over. Ledbetter keeps it alive. Groning gets it over to Sims, middle of the court. She'll tip one down off the block. Katie Sims comes up with the kill. That's her 5th of the match, 2nd of the set, and make it 17 assists for Callie Groning. 15-9. The Cardinals back up by 6 as they'll go back over to Soda Springs to serve. Callie Groning, after one full rotation, will be back to serve again. Callie tosses it up into the air, lines one over and short, popped up by Ponce, back to the Cardinals side, and down goes the kill attempt. No, they're going to say reaching over. Jessie Belknap stretched too far, and it's her 3rd hitting error of the match, and it goes as a point to the Tigers of Aberdeen. Just reached her hand up far over the net, and it goes as a 15-10 score now. Schritter back to serve, sends one over, and it's going to go as an ace as Ledbetter's dig attempt ends up going over the Soda Springs bench, and McKenna Schritter gets her 3rd ace of the match. 15-11. The Tigers creeping back into this one. Ball served over by Schritter. Groning sets it to the far side. Jesse sends it off the net cords, kept alive by the Tigers. Wallen sets it near side. Isabel Beck comes up, hits it off the block, and out of play. A smart angle taken by Isabel Beck for her 10th kill of the match, and another assist goes to Wallen for her 19th. 15-12. The Cardinals' lead has been trimmed back down to 3. It'll be Schritter back to serve once again for the Aberdeen Tigers. She'll walk up, lines one up and over, popped up by Lewis, over to Groning. She'll bump set it to the middle. Sims comes up, hits it over the net, and over the block and down. Katie Sims gets her 6th kill. A great job there by Sims of moving up and running towards the net as Callie Groning gets another assist. She's got 18 now, and it's 16-12. Back to serve, Katie Sims will move to that back row. Katie, the freshman, will line one over the net. Dug up in the back row, but misplayed in the back row by Barajas of the Tigers, and the Cardinals will build lead back to 5, 17-12. Katie Sims gets her 4th ace of the match, and she'll be back to serve again. Left to right, she'll send this one across. Line drive back row, played up by Barajas, over to the near side, coming up and flipping one over and down for her first kill is Kavahi Beck. As she comes up with a clean one there, Wallen gets her 20th kill assist of the match, and it's 17-13, back to a 4-point game. It'll be Wallen to serve once more as she walks up, strides up, and serves one over and across. McKinley, a clean pass up ahead to Groning, sets it over, and it's going to be bumped over the net by Belknap with a clean free. Over to the near side. Barajas sets it up, and it's spun down off the net and outside the lines. The Cardinals will get the point on the hitting error by Isabel Beck. 8 hitting errors now for Beck in the match, and 4 of those have come in this set. 18-13, Cardinals up by 5. Late here in set number 3, down 2-0. Serve comes across by Myers, clips the net cords, and that's going to go to the Cardinals' advantage. Taylor Myers gets the ace, her first of the match now, and it's 19-13. Cardinals up by 6 and 6 points away from closing out set number 3 and keeping themselves alive in this match. Pivotal match here between these two sides as Myers sends it over again. Dug up in the back row. Wallen sets this one towards the net coming up. Beck off the block, and a good clean one there as the Cardinals get it to Groning, who gets it into the middle of the court. Patterson drops one over. Kept alive, though, by the Tigers. Wallen sets it near side. Beck, a clean hit. Too far outside the lines, though, and Beck picks up her 9th hitting error. 5th of this set, and it's 20-13. The Cardinals up by 7 right now in set number 3. It'll be Myers to serve. Lines one over, back row, and it's going to go as another ace. Taylor Myers gets her second ace of this service run, and it's 21-13. A timeout's going to be called by the Tigers of Aberdeen as they want to talk things over on the near side. And Melanie Beck not happy with the way her team has really come out here in this third set. They look flat, and they look tired right now in the way that they've been playing. On the other side for the Cardinals, it's a little bit of a new life for them to this point in time as they've really been able to bounce back cleanly and bounce back strong and really show off what they can do. Trying to keep themselves alive in this match. And again, this third set brought to you by A&C Embroidery. In the business of making your business or team look good, call them today at 208-604-1775. Cardinals break out of the timeout huddle. It'll be Taylor Myers to serve. Sage McKinley in as the libero. Callie Groning in the back row as well. At the front row, Haley Ledbetter, Jessie Belknap, and Lexi Patterson lined up at the net. To serve this one left to right is going to be Taylor Myers. Walks up, lines one over the cords. Bumped up and misplayed again as Myers is going to come up with back-to-back aces. Taylor gets her 3rd of the match, and it's 22-13. 9-point lead for the Cardinals as they look to be very, very close to sending this to a 4th set. Myers to serve again. Lines one too far off the back row, and Taylor picks up the hitting error. But again, a very strong run by her will give the Cardinals the advantage here of 8 points. 22-14, 3 away from closing it out. Into the match is going to check Ponce. Also into the match is the libero in Gracie Valeriana to serve. Valeriana sends it over. Groning. Clean pass to Belknap. She'll bump it to the far side. Ledbetter frees one over. Played up by Schroeder to Wallen. Up into the net cords, or up into the ceiling, I should say. And played across by Beck. Dug over to the Tigers side. Cardinals will scramble to get it over. Blocked up at the net. Ball popped up by Myers again. Groning sets it to the near side. Belknap comes up, spins one down off of the 2 Tigers in the back row. Tigers will scramble, though, to the far side to get it across as Schroeder frees it over to Groning. Sets up near side again. Belknap comes up, drops it in the back line. Jessie Belknap pulled out her sharpshooter rifle and dropped it through. 19 assists for Callie Groning and 7 kills for Jessie Belknap. 23-14 as Jessie moves to the back row to serve. Walks up and lines one over. Dug up back row by Schroeder. It's going to be Wallen. Near side is set up, and Ponce is going to send this one long where McKinley pops it into the air. Groning sets it up ahead to Ledbetter, who doesn't time her run correctly and hits it into the net. Haley picks up her 2nd hitting error of the match, and it's 23-15 now. Belknap will check out of the match as into it will go Reagan Yamauchi. Back to serve for the Tigers is going to be Isabel Beck. She's gone on some good service runs, so she's always a threat. Ball dug up by Ledbetter. Groning sets it to the middle where McKinley frees one over and across. Beck pops it up into the air. Wallen sets it to the near side. Coming up and pounding one into the block and down as shut down that time at the net cords was the kill of McKenna Schroeder. Lexi Patterson and Haley Ledbetter combined for the block, and it goes as a point to Soda. 24-15, it's set point for the Cardinals. Into the match goes Sage McKinley as Lexi Patterson will take a seat on the bench. McKinley serves one short to the near side. Plast up into the air. Wallen sets this one up near side. Coming up, Schroeder. A little bit of anger on that one after getting blocked on the last one as she dropped it down hard. McKenna Schroeder gets her 14th kill of the match, make it 21 assists for Bailey Wallen, and the Tigers still have life. Down 24-16, set number 3. Ball served over, dug up into the air. Myers gets it to Groning, set to the near side. Ledbetter drops one down short and into the net. They're going to say went Ponce, and the Cardinals will take set number 3 by a score of 16-25. We'll take another break, come back with more here on your home for Cardinals volleyball, KBRV 800 The Bear, with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Welcome back out to the home of the Aberdeen Tigers, as the Soda Springs Cardinals have come back after dropping the first 2 sets to take the third set 25-16, and a much better presentation by the Cardinals in that third set, as they really played much better. Only 4 hitting errors compared to their 7 kills. They also only had 1 service error, where they had 7 leading up to that in the match to this point in time. They had 24 assists now to this point, as the Cardinals look to try and force a 5th and decisive set here between themselves and the Aberdeen Tigers. It'll be a big 4 set, though, as the Tigers, last time they had this opening serve, which they will again here, they ended up going on a 7-0 run to start it out, and that is exactly how much they won that second set by. So the Cardinals will have to avoid allowing them to go on that type of a run. For the Cardinals as well, you have to look at if they can keep up the good play. On the other side, if you're Aberdeen, you need to find a way to find that rhythm that you had gotten back into, as right now the hitting errors really have started to pile up for the Aberdeen Tigers. They have 20 hitting errors in the match now to this point in time, as they piled up 10 hitting errors in that last set compared to only 7 kills. Cardinals will be back on defense to open it up, as Schroeder will send the ball across left to right. Ball dug up by McKinley, back over to the Tigers side, and they're going to give the point over to Soda Springs, as into the net went the block attempt of Cavalli Beck. And it goes as a 1-0 lead for the Cardinals, a little bit of a break. And again, maybe the fatigue right now of the Aberdeen Tigers starting to take a little bit of an effect. 1-0 Cardinals lead here, set number 4. Ball served up and over, dug out to the near side. Wallen will tip this one over the net, almost gets away with it on the kill, but Groning ends up freeing it over for the Cardinals. Far side, Wallen bump sets this one far side for Isabel Beck, and she'll drop one down. Isabel Beck, coming from her far side position, gets her 11th kill. She's really taken over where Schroeder has died off after that first set, and it's 1-1. The Cardinals back even with the Tigers. Back to serve is going to be Bailey Wallen, as Bailey will walk up and serve this one over on the near side. McKenzie sets it up for Sims, back row. It's going to be a free ball back too far by Belknap. Jesse couldn't keep it inside the lines, as again she was just trying to scramble to keep the point going. 2-1 though. The Tigers will take their first lead. Back-to-back points on the serve of Wallen, as she'll look to try and do it again. Wallen sets up and sends one up and deep. Popped up by Lewis, back row. Ledbetter bumps it to the near side, and Luke McKinley will send one across. Played to Wallen, far side. She sets up Beck again into the block and down. They're going to call 4 hits, though, as Isabel Beck couldn't get it up high enough as she comes up with her first error of this match, or set, I should say, 2-2. The score is tied up in set number 4. Cardinals down 2 sets to 1. It'll be Katie Sims back to serve once again as she will look to line one over, but goes under the net instead of over the net. Katie gets her 3rd service error of the match and will be back to serve it once again. Or should I say the Tigers will get the serve back to their side once again. It's going to be Grace Valeriana to serve. The libero will step 2 steps forward, and then she sends it into the net. So returning it back over to the Cardinals with her 1st service error of the match, 6th service error of the match for the Aberdeen Tigers, and it's 3-3 in set number 4. Neither team wanting to take control. The errors really what has been the big talking point between the two sides here in this 4th set. Taylor Myers moves into the game to serve as she replaces Kaylin Lewis. And Taylor, I should say, will serve it over. Misplayed on the dig attempt by Schritter in the back row. Taylor comes up with the kill. That's her ace. That's going to be her 4th ace of the match. And it's 4-3 off of the serve by Myers. She'll serve it once more across the court. Right to left, she sends it across. Schritter dugs up in the air. Pons sets it to the back row where Beck comes up to punch one down. Kept alive by the Cardinals. Groning sets it near side, and it's going to be McKinley dropping one through. McKinley gets the kill from the back row. Sage with her 1st kill of the match. The 1st assist for this set for Callie Groning, and it's 5-3. Cardinals up by 2. They need to take control of this 4th set early and really kind of demoralize the Tigers as the serve comes across by Myers once again. Wallen sets it to the far side. Coming up is Beck, blocked at the net, and Alexi Patterson tips one over and across. Played up once again, far side. It's going to be Beck misplaying the tip, and it goes into the net cords. Isabel Beck with back-to-back errors on her attempts at the net, and it's 6-3. Cardinals up by 3 on top of the Tigers of Aberdeen. Again to serve will be Taylor Meyer. She walks up, lines one over the cords, crawls over the net cords, dug into the net, and Meyer gets her 5th ace of the match. The Cardinals starting to pull away here, 7-3, now up by 4. Taylor looking much more confident, and the Cardinals as a team looking much more confident than they did back in set number 2. And there's a reason for that as well, as they've continued to start lining it in. Myers, though, is going to have her run ended by a serve into the net, and it goes as a point to Aberdeen, but the Cardinals get that lead up to 3, 7-4. Back to serve is going to be Isabel Beck as she moves to the back row. Runs up, lines one deep into the back row of the Cardinals. Groning over to Belknap, who's going to save it back into the court. Free ball comes up and over and down. Taylor Meyer comes up with the kill. Her 2nd. Belknap comes up with an offhand assist, and it's 8-4. Cardinals up by 4 points. Belknap to serve now. She gets herself into the back row, lines one to the Tigers, set to the far side, up is Schritter, and she comes up from outside the lines to drop it in. McKenna Schritter with her 15th kill now, 23 assists for Bailey Wallen, who has had a very solid game, 2 hitting errors, 2 service errors, an ace, and 23 assists in 4 sets. 8-5, Cardinals up by 3. Ball served over. It's Ledbetter to Groning. She'll set it up near side. Patterson drops one down, but kept alive into the air by Kavahi. It's going to be played over to the Cardinal side, but into the net, they're going to say went Pons, and the Cardinals will come up with another point on the mistake. 9-5 now, and again, the Tigers starting to show fatigue on their side of the ball. Ball will be bounced into Sage McKinley as Lexi Patterson will check out. McKinley, the libero, will check in for her into the back row. Sage walks up, lines one to the back row of the Tigers, bumped up into the air. It's going to be set towards the net by Wallen and too far towards the official stand. Schritter couldn't get there. Just as I talk about the good night Bailey Wallen has had, she comes up with her 3rd hitting error of the match, and the Cardinals again double up the Tigers 10-5. Sage McKinley back to serve again, as she will walk up and send her serve over. Short serve near side, bumped up, and it's going to go over the Tigers bench. An ace for Sage McKinley, her 2nd ace of the match, and the Cardinals continue to pull forward. 11-5, they lead by 6, and a timeout's going to be called on the near sideline by Melanie Beck to talk things over with her team. Want to remind you This set and all of our closing sets are brought to you by A&C Embroidery, in the business of making your business or team look good. Give them a call today at 208-604-1775. Also, remind you that the first serve of this match was brought to you, or this set, I should say, was brought to you by Arctic Circle in Soda Springs, where the good stuff is. Check them out. Go swing by them today. Even go swing by right now, as they are open right now. And you can listen to the game while you get over there and check out the wonderful, tasty treats they have. Add yourself a delicious meal over at Arctic Circle and enjoy listening to Soda Springs Volleyball. And right now, it's definitely enjoyable to listen to them. They're up 11-5 in set number 4. Down 2-1, though. They need to find a way to come back and climb back into this match, as they need to come back, win this 4th set, and then win the 5th set as well, and win the 3 straight sets in this match, which is something they have done only twice so far this year in winning 3 straight sets. 11-5, the Cardinals right now trailing or leading the Tigers in set number 4. Sage McKinley to serve, right to left, sends it over, dug up back row by Beck. It's going to be set to the middle of the court and punched over and across by Ponce. Over to the near side, Groning is going to set it up for Ledbetter. She'll punch it far side corner, too far off the back row. Haley Ledbetter gets her 3rd hitting error of the match, and the Cardinals lead trim back down to 5, but it's still at a solid advantage, as Ponce will go to the back row to serve for the Tigers. Ponce stands just to the left of the middle of the court, walks forward, lines one just over the net court. Croning sets it to the near side. Sims, a set into the middle where Myers is going to drop one back row. Taylor Myers picked out the back row where nobody was for the Tigers, dropped it in. Katie Sims gets her 2nd assist of the match, and it's 12-6. The Cardinals again doubling up the Tigers by 6 points, 12-6, their advantage on the scoreboard here at the home of the Tigers in Aberdeen. Set to serve again is going to be Haley Ledbetter. Haley lines one up and short. Dug up by Ponce on the near side. Scramble by the Tigers into the bench. Ledbetter comes up with the kill. The Cardinals really starting to pick on the Tigers on their serving. They have 15 aces in the match before this set, and now they've added to that with 17 aces. 13-6 they lead as Ledbetter to serve again. Lines one up and short. Dug towards the net. It's going to be very close. Jousted forward. It rolls down. An ace again for Ledbetter as it was dug too close to the net. And the Cardinals lead 12-8. 14-6 in set number 4. Haley Ledbetter once again goes back to serve. Line drive to the back row. Ponce gets this one up. Wallen sets it over to the middle of the court where Kavahi Beck gets it over and across. Ledbetter passes up to Groning though. Lewis sends one over to Isabel Beck. It's going to be Wallen setting it back to Isabel. Clipped the net cords as it's popped up by Groning. Bump set by Katie Franston and then freed over by Sims. Back to the back row. Beck sets it up to Wallen. Far side coming up off the block and pounding it down is going to be the drop of Schroeder as she dropped her 16th kill down, and the 4th assist, or the 3rd assist I should say, of the set goes to Wallen. She's got 24 in the match. 14-7, the Cardinals still doubling up the Tigers. It'll be Schroeder back to serve as the sophomore will walk up and now lines one over herself. Dug up in the back row. Played to Groning. Near side. Kaylin Lewis comes up into the net. Her hit drops on the Cardinals side. Lewis picks up her 5th hitting error to go with her 4 kills. And it's 14-8 back to that 6-point lead. Tigers trying to climb back into this match. As Schroeder serves one over. Too long. Sage ducks out of the way at the last moment. And Schroeder comes up with her 1st service error of the match. And the Cardinals lead back up to 7, 15-8, as Callie Groning will go back to serve after a full service rotation. Into the back row goes Callie, the senior, one of the few seniors on the Soda team, as she sends one high and short. Dug up to the near side. Wallen sets one high up into the air, close to the net, too close to the net at that, and Wallen comes up with the hitting error. That's going to be her 4th hitting error as she couldn't control where the ball went well enough. 16-8 now. The Cardinals continuing to pull ahead here in this 4th set. All the momentum inside of the girls in red and white. Ball served up and over. Dug up in the back row, played over to Wallen. She'll set this far side. Coming up, Isabel Beck sends it too far and long. And the point goes over to Soda as Beck picks up her 3rd straight hitting error on those tries at a net. 17-8 now. Soda Springs building up their lead to 9. Callie Groning will be set to serve once again. Rocks into it and sends one up too short into the net. Tried to get cute with it and comes up with her first service error of the match, her second error of the match overall, as again, she's also had a very, very solid match for Soda Springs. 17-9, Cardinals back up by 8 though, and back to serve this one over is going to be Wallen. Bailey sends one high and back to Ledbetter. Groning is going to bump this back into the middle of the court where Sims sends one down far side. Dug out too far outside the court. Sims gets the kill. That's her 7th kill of the match. Groning gets the assist. That's her 21st. And the Cardinals lead, doubling up again the Tigers. 18-9, and the Cardinals are 7 points away from closing it out as Katie Sims moves to the back row to serve. Sims has had a good night serving the ball so far, as she will line one over to the far side. Dug out, played over to Barajas, as she's going to send this one over to Isabel Beck, coming up from the back row, dropping it down, and Isabel comes up with the kill. That's her 12th of the match. Barajas gets her 2nd assist, and it's 18-10. The Cardinals up by 8, and the serve back over to the Tigers of Aberdeen. In the serve is going to be the libero Gracie Valeriana. So Valeriano walks up and sends one over. Dug up in the back row by Lewis. Groning sets this one to the middle, and Belknap frees it over to the near side. Played up into the air. Bumped up by Barajas, and it's going to be freed over by Pons to the far side. Groning to Patterson, to Belknap. She frees one over and down. Patterson gets a rare set assist. Jessie Belknap gets her 8th kill of the match. It's 19-10 now. Soda Springs back up by 9 points, and it's back to their serve as well. Taylor Myers will get set to serve this one over once again as she walks up, sends one to the near side, just outside the line. Meyer couldn't keep it inside the court, and it goes as her 4th hitting error of the match, or service error of the match, I should say. She's got 5 aces to go with that, though. 19-11, and set to serve this one over is going to be Isabel Beck. Lines one over and short. Dug out to the far side. Beck with the ace. Beck on the far side dropped it through, her 2nd ace of the match to go with 2 service errors, and it's 19-12. Back within 7 are the Tigers of Aberdeen, as Isabel will run up again to serve. Lines one just over the net, dug forward cleanly. Belknap sets it up in the middle for Patterson. Back row too far, she sends it. Lexi Patterson gets her 3rd hitting error now, and it's 19-13. Back within 6 now, Aberdeen pulling themselves up by their bootstraps and trying to climb back in. Running up Isabel Beck, lines one over, far side. Great pass up by Taylor Meyer. Gets it to the middle of the court where it's Patterson sending a free ball into the net. Didn't get enough under it, and it's 19-14. 3 straight points on the serve right now of Isabel Beck. 4 straight points total. She'll run up, lines one over, dug up by Groning. Ledbetter bumps that to the back row where it's going to be Sage McKinley getting the hitting error this time. And the Cardinals starting to find some mistakes, and a timeout's going to be called on the near sideline by the head coach, Shawnee Thompson, as she wants to talk things over with her team. 19-15, the Cardinals up by 4 still, but they've seen their 9-point lead collapse down around them. This fourth set, I should say, a very important one for both teams, and also important for A&C Embroidery, where they're in the business of making your business or team look good. Call them today at 208-604-1775. If we go to a 5th set, it will only be to 15 points between these two teams, and I'll tell you what, that could be a huge decision maker for the two squads, as that would be a massive mental edge going into the next time these two teams play later on in the season. If you're looking for when that next match between these two teams will be, it won't be till later on the 15th of October, home at Soda Springs. Isabel Beck to start the service once again, sends it over. It's Meyer to McKinley and set over by Ledbetter. She'll free this one across over to Warland. Warland sets it up for the power punch of Schroeder, but she sends it into the net, and McKenna gets her 6th hitting error of the match. 20-15, the Cardinals get the serve back to their side. It's going to be Belknap to serve. Jesse sends one short, dug back over to the Cardinals side, outside the line. No, inside the line, they're going to say, as it drops on the Cardinals side. 20-16, it goes as a kill on the near side to Barajas. So she gets a rare kill on a unintentional kill, really, and she'll be set to serve. Sends one up and far side. Ledbetter passes into the middle. Groning sets it near side to Ledbetter, or Patterson, I should say. Freed over the net, back over to Groning, who tips it across the net courts to the near side. Groning gets the kill on the tip over the net. Callie with her third kill of the match. 21-16, the Cardinals moving into trading points with the Tigers of Aberdeen. It'll be back to Sage McKinley to serve, as she walks up and will line one over to the back row. Bumped up into the air to the Cardinals side. Punched over the net and down. Katie Sims gets her 8th kill of the match now. 22-16. Soda Springs continuing to pull ahead here as they look to try and take control and take this 4th set, forcing a 5th set. McKinley serves it over. Dug up in the back row. Played up to Wallen. She'll set this far side. Coming up, Schroeder is going to send it into the net. Another hitting error for Schroeder. Her 7th. And it's a 23-16 lead, and a timeout's going to be called on the near side by the Aberdeen Tigers. They're struggling to try and keep themselves in this match, and we're struggling to try and keep this excitement down, as right now the Cardinals just have come back from something I didn't know if they would be able to, as they really struggled to figure out a way in those first 2 sets to knock down the Tigers, and the Tigers really were coming on strong with both of their outside hitters, Isabel Beck and McKenna Schroeder, with the 2 of them trading on who was taking that lead role. But now Schroeder and Beck have both seen a die-off. The Cardinals have really begun to take some control in this match, and it's been all Cardinals in these last 2 sets, 25-16, and now 23-16. The Cardinals on top in the 4th. McKinley to serve. She'll send one over right to left. Dug out back row. Played by Wallen. Near side is going to be sent over by Ponce and down. Destiny Ponce gets her 4th kill. Wallen gets the assist for her 25th of the match. It's 23-17, the 6-point lead for the Cardinals. Trim back in, and it's back over to the Tigers to serve again. They're in desperate straits, though, are the Tigers in this 4th set. They want to avoid that 5th set at all possible costs. Ball served over, passed up ahead, far side, Ledbetter punches one back row. Isabel Beck gets the ball to Wallen. She'll pass it far side. Schroeder is going to send one back row, kept alive by Soda Springs and freed over by Taylor Meyer. Near side, it's going to be Wallen bumping it to the back row. Isabel Beck comes up and spins one down. Great top spin on it by Isabel Beck. She gets her 13th kill. She's 2 behind the kill count, or 3 behind the kill count of Schroeder, who's got 16. 23-18. Ball served over once again. Ball dug up. Meyer is going to tip it up to Groning. Bumped up into the air by Schroeder. It's Wallen over to Schroeder, who's going to free one into the net. Popped up into the air. Sims gets it alive, and it's freed over and across by Meyer. Kept alive by the Tigers, as now they're going to scramble to get one across back row on the back line. Isabel Beck finds the target, gets her 14th kill, and it goes as 23-19 now your score. As back to serve is going to be Ponce again. Inside 4 points now are the Tigers. First time they've been this close in a while. Ball served over and across. Sims to Groning. Back sets this one to Ledbetter. Punches one into the net. Haley gets her, that's the hitting error. That's her 4th hitting error. And talking things over now is Shawnee Thompson, as she wants to discuss things with her team. Struggling, continuing between the 2 sides as they look to try and bounce back. And again, it's the errors that are costing both teams in this 4th set, as neither one of them has really been able to find that consistent hitting stroke in this match. And both teams, I should say as well, playing with young numbers out there on the court. As if you look at the Cardinals roster at this year, other than their seniors in Callie Groning, Kaylee Veely, and Sage McKinley, it's a lot of sophomores, juniors, and freshmen on the court. And in fact, right now on the court, 2 seniors, as well as a sophomore in Ledbetter, a freshman in Sims. Katie Franson is a junior, as is, and Taylor Myers is a sophomore. So 2 sophomores, a junior, a freshman, and 2 seniors for Soda Springs. Ball served over. Into the net goes the serve of Ponce, as the timeout ends up knocking her out of her rhythm. It's 24-20 set point for the Cardinals, and back to serve is going to be one of the better servers for Soda Springs in Haley Ledbetter. So Haley will get set to try and close out this 4th set and force the 5th. Lines one up and over, right to left. Dug out in the back row. Ponce up ahead to Wallen. Sets it far side. Schroeder bounces one back row where Ledbetter passes it cleanly up into Groning. Sets it. Quick set to Sims. Back row too far outside the lines. And Sims is going to come up with the kill, or excuse me, the hitting error, as the up judge thought it was tipped, but it was not tipped, as he was debating on what's a call, and it goes out of bounds. So Sims comes up with the hitting error. That's her fourth, and back to serve now. It's going to be Schroeder. Ball's dug on her serve, back over to the Tigers side. Wallen sets it over to Isabel Beck, far side, tips it into the net, and the Cardinals are going to watch it drop down 25-21. They take the set, and they force the fifth and decisive set. We'll be back with that fifth set here on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Rage Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
It's so pretty here.
Katie's away at college,
There's the library.
but she can still be close to her mom back home. Travis is working on a big report. High-speed internet puts a world of information at his fingertips. Silver Star Communications provides connections that help students learn and keep families close, even when they're miles apart. Get your family in touch and informed with high-speed internet from Silver Star Communications. Call today or visit silverstar.com.
Welcome back out to the home of the Aberdeen Tigers, where after the Tigers took the first two sets, 28-26, 25-18, the Soda Springs Cardinals have bounced back, fought their way back into a closer match as they are now back even after winning the last two sets, 25-16, 25-21. The Cardinals will be opening up with the serve here in this decisive fifth set. First to 15 wins the match and will take over that third place spot in the district standings behind Westside, who is 1-3 and be ahead of Bear Lake and the loser of this match. Bear Lake, of course, 0-4, and the Soda Springs Cardinals and Aberdeen right now coming into this 1-2 apiece. And the winner will have a heads-up place in that match and will have a chance to avoid playing the Malad Dragons no matter what in that first set, as it'll be Kaylee Groning to serve. Callie sends one high and deep left side. Misplayed and out of play. Groning starts it out the right way for the Cardinals. An ace, her fourth of the match. So Groning gets set to serve once again, left to right. Rocks into her serve, and she'll send it over. Dug up by Barajas in the back row. Wallen sets it to the near side where Isabel Beck pounds one down and through. Clean kill for Isabel Beck. Her 15th of the match. Wallen gets her 27th assist, and it's all knotted up at one apiece here between the two sides. Back to serve once again is going to be Schroeder. Sends it across, popped up. Groning sets it far side. Belknap comes up, spins one down and in. Groning gets the assist, her 22nd, and Belknap gets her 9th kill. 2-1 now, Cardinals up. 1 point advantage in the set number 5. First serves, I should mention, brought to you by Arctic Circle, as this serve coming across from Sims. Sent over, dug out in the back row. Played by Wellen over to the near side, blocked at the net, into the net, they're going to say is the hit, that time by Isabel Beck, as she picks up her first hitting error this set, and it's 3-1. Cardinals up by 2 here, trying to pull away early on in set number 5. Sims to serve, lines it back row, dug up into the air. Wallen sets it over to the near side, freed over by Beck. It's Lewis to Groning. She'll set it near side. Belknap comes up, hits it into the net. Jessie, frustrated, pounds her hand into her fist, and it goes as a hitting error. 3-2. The Tigers back up or down by 1 as they go back to serve again with Wallen moving to the back row. So Wallen will stride up 2 steps, high serve to the back row. McKinley to Groning. She'll set it to the middle. Belknap comes up again, too far off the back line. Jessie with back-to-back hitting errors, and the score goes back to even, 3-3. And again to serve is going to be Wallen. Wallen has had a successful service run so far. Not many mistakes, only 2 service errors as she will send this one spinning over. Dug up by Ledbetter. Groning sets this to the far side. Lexi Patterson comes up. Gets one to drop down, but kept alive, though, by the Tigers. Freed across by Wallen. McKinley gets it to Groning. Sets it far side. Lewis comes up. Back row. Tries to get it dropped down. There's Schroeder, though. Ball freed into the back row of the Cardinals. And it ends up dropping down as Barajas gets the kill. She just tried to drop it through. 4-3, the Tigers take a 1-point advantage in set number 5. Early going of the set here on KBRV 800 The Bear, as back to serve once again is going to be Wallen. Wallen strides forward, sends this one over and across. Lewis to Groning. She'll set it far side. Patterson tries to drop one down. Dug back over to the Cardinal side. No, into the net goes the dig attempt, and it rolls down as Lexi Patterson gets her 5th kill. Another assist goes to Callie Groning, and it's all knotted up at 4 here in set number 5. You couldn't have expected anything different from these 2 teams than a close match in this final set. As Kaylin Lewis goes back to serve, sends one short. Dug up by Ponce over to the far side. Wallen sets it up into the middle, and Kavahi Beck sends it across. Ledbetter passes it to Groning. Back to Ledbetter. Backside, they'll set this one up for Schroeder. Near side, Wallen sets it up, and Isabel Beck sends it well off the backside, wanting a tip ball, and it goes as a point over to the Tigers. They're going to say tipped at the net, and Beck gets the kill. It's her 16th kill. Wallen gets another assist, her 28th. 5-4 now. The Tigers back to serve again, up by 1. Set to serve is going to be Gracie Valeriana. She'll send one up and deep. Dug up by Groning. Belknap sets it back to Groning, who misplays the hit, sends it into the net. Groning picks up only her 2nd hitting error of the match, and it's 6-4 now. The Tigers up by 2, starting to pull ahead in their own right. As back to serve is going to be Valeriani again. Back row to Lewis. She'll pass up ahead to Belknap, sets it up for Patterson. And Lexi Patterson sends it into the net, and all of a sudden it's a 3-point lead right now as the Tigers pull away with 3 straight points and a lead of 3 on the Cardinals halfway through set number 5. It's 7-4. This 5th set brought to you by A&C Embroidery, in the business of making your business or team look good. Call them today at 208-604-1775. And be sure to check them out, as they are your place to go, again, for all of your embroidery needs. Soda Springs breaks out of their timeout huddle, trying to calm themselves down, as Lexi Patterson talks with Jessie Belknap on the near side of the court. In the back row, the 4 Cardinals will spread out with Haley Ledbetter on the far side. In the middle, Callie Groning, Sage McKinley, and on the near side, Kaylin Lewis, all expecting the serve to come across from Gracie Valeriana. Valeriano walks up 1 step, sends one back row. Played by Groning. McKinley keeps it alive, and a free ball is pounded too far outside the lines by Groning as she just tried to power it through. The Cardinals can't get the ball to drop in, and it's 8-4 now. The Tigers bouncing back mentally and doubling up the Cardinals in this 5th set. And it's a short 5th set, so you don't have much time to climb back if you're Soda Springs. Back to serve again. Valeriani sends one near side. Lewis can't play it correctly. Valeriani gets her 3rd ace of the match, and it's 9-4 now as Soda Springs down by 5. All of a sudden, the Tigers looking like the team they looked like in those first 2 sets. And back to serve again, Valeriani. High serve to McKinley. She'll pass it near side. Belknap sets it up into the middle. Lexi Patterson tries to drop one down. Back to the Cardinals side. Belknap tips it over to the Tigers side. Set by Barajas. Near side is going to be Isabel Beck into the block and then out. A clean block at the net coming that time for the Soda Springs Cardinals as Jessie Belknap comes up with it and gets her 2nd of the match. Back to serve will be Jessie. 9-5. The Cardinals down by 4. Here in set number 5, all knotted up at 2 sets apiece. Jessie will walk up and will send her serve up and across. Line to Valeriana. played by the Tigers, and they'll free it over to the Cardinals' back row. Lewis passes it up ahead to Groning, sets it over to Patterson. She'll flip it to the back row of the Tigers, bumped up ahead by Wallen. Barajas sets it to the near side. Isabel Beck tips it over the block of Groning and Patterson and gets the kill. Isabel Beck with a smart one for her 16th kill of the match. Barajas gets her 3rd assist, and it's 10-5. The Tigers back up by 5 once again, and back to serve this across is going to be Isabel Beck. Out of the game goes Jessie Belknap. Into the match is going to be Taylor Meyer. Meyer checking in as a defensive specialist, and running up again is going to be Isabel Beck. Clips the net cords, drops it down, gets her 4th ace of the match. And another timeout called by the Cardinals, down by 6, 11-5 to Aberdeen and the Tigers. And again, the Tigers have really bounced themselves back in this 5th set, really playing strongly and playing to the detriment of the Cardinals on their side of the court. 11-5 your score here in set number 5 on KBRV 800 The Bear, with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com. And I want to thank all 24 of the people tuning in. And if you're not one of those 24, you've missed out on a good one on our video stream here. We do want to remind you as well that tomorrow night, no matter what happens this match, we'll have another volleyball match coming your way as the defending state champion Malad Dragons come to Soda Springs for a rematch. The Cardinals were swept on the road. They'll try and get back at the Dragons with a 7 o'clock first serve, or 7:15 first serve, and a 7 o'clock pregame. 11-5, back to the action. Isabel Beck runs up and serves across. Ball's dug too far back to the Tigers' side. Dumped over the net by Destiny Ponce for her 5th kill, and it's 12-5. The Cardinals trail by 7 to the Tigers of Aberdeen. Again, the serve to come across from Isabel Beck. Runs up, lines one just off the net, again gets the crawl. 3 straight times she's gotten the crawl on serves, and it's her 4th ace of the match. 13-5 now. 2 points away are the Tigers from wrapping up set number 5 and this match. Beck to serve again. The Sant Jr. runs up, lined across, dug back over to the Tigers side. Ponce sets it to Wallen. Near side is going to be for Schroeder. Off the block, and down it goes. Schroeder with her 17th kill. 29 assists now for Bailey Wallen, and it's 14-5. And back to serve once again is going to be Isabel Beck, as the Tigers Jr. will try to serve this one out with set point. Ball up into the ceiling. Ledbetter to Myers. She'll send one back row, played up and forward. It's going to be over to Wallen. Near side, Beck is going to try and spin one down. Kept alive. Clean pop up into the air for Lewis, who sends one over to Schroeder. Over to the side. Wallen sets up for Schroeder again. Drops one down. Dug back over. Schroeder gets another chance and pounds the kill home for her 18th and final kill, as that ramps it up 15-5. The Cardinals drop the 5th set to the Aberdeen Tigers in what was a heck of a match for these two teams. We'll take a break, come back with final numbers in this one and our post-game wrap-up on KBRV 800 The Bear, with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
It's so pretty here.
Katie's away at college,
There's the library.
but she can still be close to her mom back home. Travis is working on a big report. High-speed internet puts a world of information at his fingertips. Silver Star Communications provides connections that help students learn and keep families close, even when they're miles apart. Get your family in touch and informed with high-speed internet from Silver Star Communications. Call today or visit silverstar.com.
Hey America, we need to have a little talk. We've got a lot of food in this country. We've got so much food that we can't eat it all. So how are 17 million kids in America struggling with hunger? That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to hungry kids who need it. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials for the week of October 1st through the 7th. Catch Case-Lot Fever. Grab select varieties of canned vegetables, 24 in a case for $12. Canned tuna fish, 48 cans for $28.32, or a case of 12 cans of premium chunk white chicken for just $11.89. Pasta sauces come in cases of 12 for $12, 20 for $20, or 24 for $24. That's a look at your Lalaton's food specials in Soda Springs.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
Welcome back out to the home of the Aberdeen Tigers as the final score, 3-2. The Aberdeen Tigers take down the Soda Springs Cardinals in what was a match that was everything we wanted and more in this setup. 28-26, the first match set went to extra points, and that kind of told us what kind of match this was going to be. Aberdeen took a 2-0 set lead, 25-18 in that second set. After that, the Cardinals came roaring back, taking a 25-16 and 25-21 pair of sets in 3 and 4. Before finally dropping that fifth set as they just ran out of steam and lost 15-5 to the Aberdeen Tigers. And again, 3-2, the Tigers take it away, and they were pushed along by Isabel Beck and McKenna Schritter, who combined for 34 kills between the two of them. 18 for McKenna Schritter and 16 for Isabel Beck. 5 kills for Destiny Ponce, 2 for Jasmine Barajas, and 1 for Kavahi Beck as well. And 29 assists went to Bailey Wallen. She had 4 hitting errors and setting errors, 3 assists for Jasmine Barajas, and 1 for Destiny Ponce for 32 total assists, 44 total kills, only 25 hitting errors for the Aberdeen Tigers. They played a very clean match. 11 aces as well for the Tigers, led by Isabel Beck with 4, 3 more for McKenna Schritter. There was also 11 total there, 8 service errors and 2 blocks in the match. On the Soda Springs side, 32 total kills with 32 total hitting errors as well in the match as they struggled in that aspect of it. They were led by Jessie Belknap, who had 9 kills. Katie Sims had another strong night with 8 more kills to her record, only 4 hitting errors for Katie Sims as well. 4 kills went to Kaylin Lewis, 5 for Lexi Patterson, 3 for Taylor Myers without a hitting error at all. Callie Groning had 3 kills in the match with 3 hitting errors, and it was Haley Ledbetter with 2 for those 32 kills for the Soda Springs Cardinals. On the assist side, Callie Groning had 23, 3 assists for Jessie Belknap, 2 apiece for Taylor Myers and Katie Sims, and then 1 for Lexi Patterson. Aces-wise, Taylor Myers led the way with 5 as she had a very strong night serving the ball. 4 aces for Katie Sims, 20 aces overall for the Soda Springs Cardinals as Callie Groning added 4 as well for Soda Springs in the match. 5 blocks for the Cardinals, and they continue to be a team that is very good at blocking the ball and continue to be a team that plays well at the net, and they'll hope that can continue to be something they grow on as the season continues. That wraps it up here from Aberdeen High School. I want to thank you for listening to the Cardinal Postgame Show. The proceeding has been a sports production and sports broadcast of Old West Media Incorporated and Cook Brothers Broadcasting. No portion of this production can be used or rebroadcast without express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Tonight's executive producer is Val Cook. I'd also like to thank our sales team as well as our office manager Kim Miller and general manager Warren Cook. Thanks to all of our sponsors and to you for tuning in. Once again, our final score, 3-2. Aberdeen takes down the Cardinals. For tonight's videographer Zippy Sonson, I want to say thank you to her. I'm Caleb Burgraff. Thank you for tuning in once again to Soda Springs Volleyball on KBRV 800 The Bear.
Thank you for joining us for tonight's matches. Be sure to visit mylocalradio.com for a full schedule of games you can watch and listen to this year. And keep your radio tuned to KBRV 800 The Bear so you can keep up with every play from Soda Springs, Grace, and North Gym Athletics.